Am I on right now? Am I on? Okay, yes I am. Okay. Alright, we're getting set up as we speak. I was gonna do more grinding, but I just kind of hit a wall with the grinding. Like, grinding just is so boring, dude, guys. It's not that fun. Oh. Makes a legal threat to take down your video. Really, why?
Only talk I have done about her in the few videos is I mentioned her real briefly. I said things are great, you know, we handled that, it was smooth, and that's about it. I said nothing but positive things about the situation afterwards, and that was it. I mean, honestly, I haven't thought about it. I just been on my day. I've been doing my own things, and you know, it's been smooth sailing until this Thursday. November 14th, man, oh man, she ended up writing me a message, right? I didn't see it till Friday the 15th, but the message was pretty fucked up. Basically, she's trying to threaten me with a lawyer, possible lawsuit, or something like that if I don't take down the video. Yeah, that's right, guys. And we'll go over it in detail, but basically, you know, if I don't take down the video or clear the comment section, she's gonna look into options with her lawyer. And I don't know, man. We already went through this before. I went through a copyright situation. She tried to silence my criticism, and you know, she tried to send a copyright strike over.
Hey,
Let's
guys.
talk all about that. Let's rewind in case you guys are not familiar with that video I'm talking about Destiny FOMO that I made. I will leave a link in the description below. All right, guys, so I made a video on Destiny FOMO on October 11th, 2019. I made a video because I saw her in my sponsored section. You know, the ad on YouTube, it was just spamming over and over, and I'm like, who is this girl? So I clicked on it, and I just gave my first impressions on her. Actually, I went through our videos, and I gave a pretty in-depth of what I thought. That was my fair criticism. Those were my feelings towards everything. You know, what I thought about her and her channel. Those were all my opinions. Original opinions. I did use some of her footage under fair use. So on October 20th, 2019, Destiny FOMO ended up issuing that video a copyright strike, which is kind of messed up because it was a false copyright strike. As soon as I saw the video, I ended up putting a counter on the video, and that was on October 20th, around 8 p.m. Central, somewhere around there. It
Oh
was
my
in the
god.
evening. Now, I got on Twitter and I contacted Tipster. If you guys aren't familiar with Tipster, he deals with a lot of this stuff on his channel, a lot of other YouTubers. He helps them out through situations and stuff like that. And I've been a fan of Tipster since he was doing video games on his channel. So I contacted Tipster. I let him know the situation, and he ended up getting me and Destiny together, you know, in a private chat. So later in the evening on October 21st, my counter was still pending. I ended up talking with Tipster and Destiny into a private chat. Now in this private chat, I went ahead and said, like, straight up, hey, all I want is that copyright strike taken off. So Tipster was basically in the middle, you know, just helping us out. And me and Destiny came up to agreement, which I didn't find fair, but you know what? I just wanted that copyright strike taken away. Whatever it was, I did not see it fair the whole time. I just wanted it taken away. I didn't know if my counter was gonna go through or not, but you know, so we made a private agreement, and she ended up making the retraction, which I don't think it ever went through because my counter ended up getting approved the next day when I woke up in the morning on October 27th,
Alright.
2019. And I noticed this roughly around 7 a.m., maybe 7:15 a.m. So right away, I ended up contacting that thread with Tipster and Destiny, and I let them know right away, like, hey, it's approved. The counter went through, it's successful. And Destiny did, you know, show proof that she did try to do the retraction. There was many times that it seemed like it wasn't going through. I think she ended up doing manually. I don't remember exactly, but for sure, I got the notification from email that my counter went through successful, so my video ended up being put up. Even though my situation, I felt like I didn't have to follow up with agreements because, you know, I got my video put up because of the counter, not actually because of Destiny's retraction. I ended up keeping my word in that private conversation with Tipster. I ended up keeping my word, and I'll tell you guys exactly what those agreements are. Now, I know I promised to Tipster and Destiny during that agreement that, like, hey guys, I'll just give you my word. We'll keep this private, this and that, and that's the way it was. That's why I've not talked about it. Now, Destiny pulling out this threat, I feel like that just shut down everything that we had. The agreement that she was going to retract the copyright and she was going to retract my video being put down. And then now she wants to go another way to put my video down. It's like she's trying too hard to silence me and making threats to me. I'm like, you know what? Any private conversation we had is no longer an option. You broke your word. I kept my word all the way through, and I think that's bullshit. So if you watched my video that I did on Destiny, you did notice that Destiny did do a video talking about a Facebook group, and she called out the admin. She was showing DMs of the admin, and to me, I felt like she was picking just certain portion of the DMs. Now, I'm open to show all the DMs right now. If she showed DMs of the admin, why can't we show DMs of her? That's the way I see it. So in this situation, because I feel threatened, I feel like we're going to have to show some of the DMs through Twitter. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm just going to show what's relevant for the situation. We did have some talk a little bit about random stuff. But you know what? We didn't talk too much. I'm not embarrassed. I'll show every Twitter message if I have to. There's nothing to hide. But we're just going to go through the basic things. So back to the Tipster agreement that me and Destiny had with each other, even though, like I said, I felt like I didn't have to do it, was number one, change the title of the video. If you guys remember, I had the video titled Destiny, FOMO, Nintendo Queen, or Nintendo Thought. She wanted the word thought taken out, so I'm like, all right, fine. That's not even a big deal, whatever. So I took out the word thought and ended up typing it Destiny, FOMO, Nintendo Queen, or not. Now, I want to just get this out of the way real quick. There was some Twitter a Twitter war going on, and people were saying I called her a thought. If you watch that video, I never, ever called her a thought. It was in the name of the title, and once I made a reference to a picture, and I said that she wore a sweater so nobody would call her a thought. I never did make that towards her.
Because the post ended up getting taken down after someone called me a Twitch thought.
And then she posts a second post. She had to be in the picture with her Switch collection and had to be covered up because she didn't want to be called a thought. So a lot of these other YouTubers that ended up, you know, like JLove81 and stuff like that, they end up saying this guy called her a thought. Like,
why don't you put your Switch's theme to black?
And went and rolled with it, and I think that's fucking bullshit. But anyways, let's go on. The other part of the agreement,
I'm okay.
Communication with some guy that she called a weirdo, and I agreed that the dude was pretty weird. He messaged me on Discord. You know, he messaged me a lot about Destiny FOMO. It was a lot about, you know, her online pictures, stuff like that. I did talk to the dude. I replied back a few times, and I was just like, you know, like I was trying to probe it. I was like, man, who is this guy? And no cap, I honestly thought it was probably somebody affiliated with her. Just the way it felt kind of weird. And I do remember when I got that strike, I ended up writing to the person, hey, I got a strike, and it seemed like they read it and just kept quiet. So to me, that was like, man, is this person like affiliated with her? But I was like, nah, maybe not. I don't know. But I felt like there was something there that I didn't know. I didn't trust the person, but it was like, no big deal. I'm gonna delete that communication. Ended up going, and I ended up blocking that person, and I don't regret that at all. I didn't know him, man. I'm like, oh, whatever, no big deal. The next part of the agreement was for me to go through my video and delete what messages she thought was offensive or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, like we're gonna go through all of them. Is this what we're gonna do? We're gonna end up just deleting messages. So she ended up giving me a list of a list. It wasn't that bad, yeah, so I didn't care. I was like, okay, it's not that many messages. I gotta delete, whatever. But I did stress out that going forward, that I was not gonna monitor any of those messages, not delete any more than what she requested. And I just wanted to put that in the future, that I was not gonna monitor or delete or keep up with that. But this was my own part. I ended up adding that I was no longer gonna comment in there. I just wanted nothing to do with that comment section. I'm like, dude, if you're spying on my comments like that, like, dude, I want nothing to do with it. You're taking everything out of proportion, and it's just like, it's no big deal. Like when I respond to people, usually it was laughing and stuff like that. Like I don't care. I don't take that stuff serious. I was like, oh,
doing okay.
I work with
You?
and it's no big deal. All right, guys, this is where we're gonna get to the DMs, and I had a big issue with one of the comments, and you'll see why. All right, so you'll see right there on October 22nd, 2019, she ended up asking me at 1 a.m. Central Time, everything back to normal. You know, and then like I told you, I woke up at 7:15 a.m. and I ended up replying, just woke up and checked. Yes, I sent the screenshots in the thread with Tipster. Thank you for being so chill in that crazy Twitter debate with everyone. Laugh out loud. She replies, no problem. I only saw a handful of comments. I like remove if you don't mind. Me? Cool. Shouldn't be a problem. There was one problem with one message that she had that I didn't find offensive. But look, we're going to just read that one part. I'll put the whole message in case you guys want to read it. But I want you guys to focus on the bottom part. The bottom part says, I'm going to start doing some sleuthing and put on my 1010 hat and find out more on this FOMO character. Hee hee. All right, so if you guys know anything about my channel, sometimes I kid around with a tinfoil hat. Like, whatever, it's no big deal. It's like, I like to keep people open-minded, to open their brains and think for themselves, and not exactly what YouTube tells you. Anyone that's behind the camera that's saying these stuff, you know what, guys? Just think for yourself. There's too many fake YouTubers, and right now on YouTube, everyone's kind of noticing that. If you guys realize it, like, everyone kind of recognizes real. Like, real recognizes real now. It's just fucking funny. So I didn't take any offense to that. So I let Destiny know, like, hey, I'm gonna delete all the comments, but I will not delete this one. This is what she had to say. Can we get rid of the 1010 hat one and work on a collab video after I get back from vacation, so I can get that one thing I want, and in return we can make a video and I can send some of my subs towards your channel? No pressure, just seeing if a quid pro quo would be on the table. If not, I understand completely, dude. Really? A quid pro quo? Really? So basically, hey, you do this for me, I'll do something for you. I think this is so much bullshit. Like, do you think that's what I'm about? So I had to reply, I will erase it. Thanks for the collab offer, but I will decline. You are obviously doing a great job. Keep it up. My niche is a different type of channel. I appreciate the offer. Keep it up. You're gonna grow huge. All right, guys, so I was just nice about it, but basically I was saying, fuck no. Like, dude, that's fucking bullshit. Like, you're gonna try to throw subs at my way. You know, it didn't piss me off enough to let her know because I was gonna be cool, but it pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, dude, I took that as a bribe. I took that like, hey, if you do me this one favor, I'll do this for you. I mean, how many of those retro channels would kill to do a collab with her? Like, honestly, it doesn't matter. My channel has nothing to do with her style channel, so why would I want to collab? She just really wanted that taken down. And to me, a 1010 hat comment, like, really, like, it's kind of crazy if you think about that. That one comment meant so much. Like, she didn't want people thinking, or what's the deal? Like, coming up with their own situations. Like, honestly, people do this all the time with everyone. The thing that's different about me is that I'm a YouTuber that is a fan of a lot of channels, and I'm just basically saying what everyone's thinking. I'm not chasing subs.
No.
Money. In fact, that Destiny video has, I don't know how many views. For my channel, it's a lot of views. It's like 11K or something like that. For my channel, that's pretty good. And if you look at the monetization, are there ads on that video? Fuck no, there's not. So, like, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, whenever I saw it get put up, I think I just on purpose didn't add the monetization back up because I'm like, dude, this video is just so much trouble. Like, fuck it. Like, I don't even fucking care. I don't know who she thinks I am or how I think, but definitely I'm not gonna take that offer. Fuck no. All right, guys, so I feel like I went extra. Like, I went extra big time by going with our agreement. And I said it at the very end of our conversation with Tipster in our thread. And I made sure to put in there because I had a feeling this shit was gonna come back. I ended up telling Tipster and Destiny this. I want to keep this on record. I will erase all these comments to keep my word. I have no control of future comments and will not be monitoring comments or replying to any. Thanks again. Now, there were two comments that I couldn't find in there because one of the comments, that tinfoil hat one, was like a comment inside a reply. You know, those are kind of hard to find. So those two that I couldn't find in that video, and I let her know I couldn't find it. And this was Destiny's response to that. Thank you for what you have already done. It's fine if you can't find those two. Don't sweat it. All right, guys, so right there, I thought it was done. I kept my lips sealed. I didn't say shit. I never talked about it or anything, and I kept my word because I strongly believe, you know, the only thing you have is your word, and I felt like she fucking broke it, so it has to come down. This has to come out. I didn't want to talk about it, but I felt like I fucking had to right now. Now, let's get to the threads. So she said this on November 14th. I didn't see it to November 15th, Friday, but she sent it Thursday, but this is what she said. Hey, heads up. I've been getting hundreds, and I mean hundreds of hate messages and threats and harassments just based off your video the last few days. Really, based off my video? Like, you know those people came from my video? The internet and YouTube is fucking huge, but you know they came from my fucking video, and I have control.
Wow.
When people go there, like, acting like I send them, it's fucking bullshit.
Hey, Vault. I'm not ready yet.
Overwhelming, and to be
I'm really not even close. Well, I mean, I'm getting close, but not quite.
I'm weighing my options and on hold right now with the attorney service I pay through LegalZoom. I appreciate you keeping your word and not feeding to the trolls, but it's becoming cancerous right now.
I feel like
I don't know
she's...
what exactly that means. I mean, it's whatever mob mentality. I think like people just whatever, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. If you're directing that towards me, honestly, I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever. So I just kept reading. I'm to the point where I'm gonna have to take action on the video, and the lawyer is explaining the options now. I'm to the point where I don't give a fuck what videos the community makes about me after this happens, but the video has to come down or the comments have to be cleaned up. I'm tired of the cancer that if breeding off your
Wow.
sorry, dude. Common grammar mistake there at the end. I couldn't recatch it, but I kind of understood what she meant. She's still blaming my video for those people. Honestly, whatever people you have in your comments, Destiny, are people making up their own minds. Not everyone has seen my video and went straight to your page. Like, that's not why I made the video. I never once told people to go to your page. I made my video because that's what I do on my channel. I make criticism. I make videos just talking about YouTubers. I make videos criticizing games. I make videos criticizing whatever's on my mind at the moment. I do not throw hate towards your way. I do not encourage people to ever fucking do that. That's not what I'm fucking about. And then about an hour later, she replies with this, but I do appreciate your topics of video quality and production value. I really do.
Wow, that's passive aggressive.
Completely uncontrollable with the harassment coming. I'm sorry, dude. All right. An hour later, it's like, you sound like a different person, and it is what it is. I did not reply to Destiny at all. We have been through this before with my video. It got taken down, it got put up. It got, you know, there was no copyright. She was trying to silence me by giving a false copyright strike. And now she's trying to silence me by whatever means she can. If you watch that video, it was not bad. I didn't trash her ugly. Like, it was just criticism. Sometimes I don't give a fuck and I say what's on my mind. What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong. I am not harassing her. I'm not spreading any hate her way. And she will tell you that in this time, any communication I had with her was chill. Like, I have no hate towards Destiny, but what she's doing right now is pissing me the fuck off because she's throwing threats, and this shit is, like, not cool at all. So I blocked her off Twitter, and I'm blocking any messages from her because I do not trust Destiny fully. All right, guys, so I want to end this video basically giving some advice towards Destiny. Now, I'm a small YouTuber. I'm very small. I haven't been doing this long, but I have learned this lesson already. Now, I think Destiny hasn't learned this lesson because she grew way too fast. And right now, she's probably just stressing out over everything. Destiny, don't stress out over the comments. You have no control of people that comment ugly to you. It's gonna happen. Whether you just have a good heart or whether you're a person like me that just says whatever on their mind and doesn't care. You're gonna have haters both ways. There's haters, there's no side, there's no line that divides good people from bad people.
Right.
I like to portray the retro community as good people. A lot of those people are toxic as fuck and will comment in my section really ugly. Some of them in sock accounts. It's just like you don't know, you know, who a person is. People are people. You can't control them. You can't control anyone on the internet. So you got to learn how to avoid that. You cannot keep deleting comments in your comment section. Stop doing that now. Once you keep deleting that, that's gonna make you go crazy. If you think about it, you're gonna be trying to keep up with it, and then you're gonna start going to channels like mine and start thinking that I am sending people your way. My people, I am sending people, or people in my comment section just want to go to your way. A mob mentality, like who says that in the retro scene? We're just gamers, you know. Anyone that's a commentating channel like me doesn't mob mentality. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, seriously. Think about it. Seriously, think about it. You need to chill out. You really need to chill out, and you need to realize that people are going to criticize you no matter what. You are not above criticism. You know, you grew really fast because you have that sponsored spamming on YouTube. People are going to go to your page, and they're going to see right away. people aren't fake. People are fucking real. People are real. And to keep it real, what I said about you on that channel are my feelings. Whether I'm right, or maybe I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. That's how my first opinions were on you. I honestly like have a lot of questions. Like, okay,
Huh?
what's going on? Something doesn't seem
How?
right. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't seem right. So people are gonna criticize you.
That's really weird.
Fuck it. Fuck them. Don't even read the comments. Like, if it's really that bad, disable comments and your likes. And that says a lot about a YouTuber. But if it's that bad for you, which it looks like it is, I suggest you do that. All right, guys, I'm done now. I hated that I had to show DMs. I hated that I had to break that little thing with Tipster and but I felt like it was already broken once Destiny brought this shit back up. Now, Tipster was a great guy. He ended up being there. He's being there for me. And, he's a bad dude. Like,
the next level. So as much as I would like to not report on this situation, I have no choice but to do so. Who exactly are we talking about here? We're going to be talking about a YouTuber known as Destiny FOMO. Now, this is a creator that I actually really enjoy their videos. I've watched their videos from time to time. I'm not the biggest fan of retro gaming content anymore these days, but having said that, I do occasionally watch retro gaming content, and sometimes I do enjoy videos on her channel. And I've also had the privilege of talking to her in private before, and we've had some very nice conversations. She seems like a really swell gal and everything. But unfortunately, in a recent situation that she kind of got herself mixed up in by her own actions, unfortunately, it does seem that she's kind of got herself into a sticky situation. What exactly am I referring to? Well, let me go ahead and bring this YouTube channel on the screen for you guys. This is a YouTuber known as Overthink Gaming. The best way I could describe this is it's like a reaction channel where they provide a lot of criticism to other YouTubers and stuff like that, but it's strictly centered around retro gaming channels. I even see some people who I am friendly with in the retro gaming community that he's done videos on. His videos are pretty good, but I'll be honest, I don't always agree with his opinions and, the things that he says in the videos. But having said that, it's his right. This is YouTube. You're going to be criticized on this platform. I've been criticized on this platform. It just happens. It's part of the gig. So he's not really doing anything wrong, and everything he does is on the up and up. His videos, comply with fair use and everything like that. He's just doing what a lot of commentary channels do, which is criticize content creators or other people for really shady behavior or things that he doesn't agree with or things of that nature. So that's just kind of his gig, and that's fine. He can say or do whatever he wants to do on his YouTube channel. But unfortunately, Destiny FOMO had a problem with that because
Huh.
he did a video about her on his channel. The video is currently titled Destiny FOMO, Queen of Nintendo or Not. I believe originally it was Queen of Nintendo or Nintendo Thought. He did change the title of the video later down the line. We'll get into that in a little bit. But this is the video, and he was very critical of Destiny FOMO. I've watched the video in question, and it definitely complies with fair use and everything. And there are some opinions that he gives in the video that, yeah, they're based on true things about Destiny FOMO. And in other ways, he says things that I don't necessarily agree with when it comes to Destiny FOMO. But at the end of the day, these are his opinions. And he has a right to give his opinion, and he has a right to be critical of someone who is, at this point, a public figure. That's part of the thing. If you're a public figure, you're going to be criticized for stuff. It's just going to happen. You kind of have to accept that that's just kind of part of the gig. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the retro gaming community can't seem to do that. And again, we'll get to that a little bit later in this video. So if you're not familiar with Destiny FOMO, here's her YouTube channel. She has 42.4 thousand subscribers on her channel at the moment. And the best way to sum it up is if like a retro gaming YouTuber, like say a Metal Jesus or a Pat the NES Punk was like merged with Mr. Beast. There's a lot of flashing cash and buying expensive stuff, more particularly like expensive collector's editions of game consoles or expensive rare games for the Nintendo or stuff like that. That's just kind of her gig. And I understand that that's not everybody's cup of tea. I do occasionally watch her channel and I enjoy some of the stuff that she puts out. But I do understand that that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And in this case, it wasn't Game Over Think's cup of tea. So he decided to do a video and he kind of gave his opinions on her channel. And she didn't like that, unfortunately. So what exactly did she do? Well, last month, she issued a copyright takedown request on his video. As we can see, this is a screenshot of the email he got. He got one copyright strike as a result of this. Destiny FOMO, Queen of Nintendo, or Nintendo Thought. So I was right about the title. And he got this copyright strike. If you looked into it in more detail, I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this for you guys. We can see that the copyright strike.
Oh my god.
Destiny FOMO says Destiny FOMO, Destiny at DestinyFOMO.com. So she issued the copyright takedown request for this situation. Now, before we move on to this next screenshot here, I'm going to give you a little bit of the backstory about how I got involved in this particular situation. What exactly happened here? Now, like I said, this situation was brought to my attention, and when I first saw it, I'm like, this can't be right. This has to be a mistake or something. Something's going on here because I do enjoy Destiny FOMO's content. She does seem like a really genuine person. So I reached out to her as well as Overthink Gaming here. And I was trying to get an understanding from both sides of this perspective of exactly what was going on. And during my conversation with her, she had legitimate reasons for wanting the video taken down, but she went about it the wrong way. I'm not trying to justify her copyright strike. She was definitely wrong in doing that, but I feel like there were better ways to handle the situation. So, what exactly were her concerns? I'll tell you what her concerns were. Basically, there were people in the comment section that were trying to gather her docs or trying to post her docs and stuff like that. Not only that, but Overthink Gaming was also engaging with some of these comments. He was responding to some of these comments. And during my conversation with him, when I brought this to light to him, he's like, you know what? I thought those people were like kidding and stuff like that. And I can definitely see how, yeah, that would be a bad thing. Again, it just doesn't justify her issuing a false copyright strike, but he could understand why she was upset about that and why she would potentially want to have the video taken down because of that. So I decided, why don't we get into a group conversation together? We could talk this thing out, and I'm sure that we can come to some sort of agreement. And that's exactly what we did. We all had a conversation. They mainly talked to each other. I was just kind of moderating the conversation for the most part. And the agreement was that any comments that had tried to, post her docs or tried to gather her docs or anything like that, that he would remove those comments off of his comment section. And in addition to that, he would remove any responses that he made to these types of comments as well. And if anybody posted any further comments like that, he would not be responding to them. In exchange for that, she would remove the strike. And that was pretty much the agreement. And that should have been the end of it. Now, I'm going to show a video a little bit later where basically Overthink Gaming posts more up-to-date information on what's going on. But I do want to clarify something. In his video, he says that while she agreed to retract the strike and she did email YouTube with a retraction request, he didn't think that she actually got the retraction request through, and that's not what actually removed the strike from his channel, because he received this particular email here that says that YouTube received his basically appeal to the situation, and they processed it and they agreed that his content didn't infringe on copyright and the video should be restored, that sort of thing. This actually is kind of how the retraction process works. So why they don't specifically say that, oh, we got a retraction email, and so we're reversing this for you, that actually is the process going through. So she emailed requesting a retraction of the copyright takedown request, and YouTube complied with it. So that's exactly what happened here. So that should be the end of it. That should have been the resolution to the situation. No problem. He deletes the comments that she asked. He doesn't engage with anybody, making those kind of comments. And she removes the strike. That's it. That was the terms of the agreement, and they both complied. The only thing he said is, and I don't blame him for this, don't expect me to continue moderating the comments on that video. I'll remove what you asked me to do here, but you can't expect me to keep up with the comments on that video. It's impossible. And as somebody who runs a YouTube channel myself, I sometimes get hundreds of comments a day, and keeping up with those comments, it's ridiculous to expect any YouTube content creator to do so. So I am 100% in agreement with him with that. She should not expect him to keep up with those comments. But anyway, it doesn't end there because apparently she did expect that. But in any case, this was part of the private conversation they continued to have outside of our little group chat. They were conversating directly where she was asking for certain comments to be removed and sharing the ones that concerned her, things of that nature. And he was mostly in agreement with her. One comment in particular, she DM'd him about. He didn't personally feel that this was that bad of a comment, so he didn't want to remove it or anything like that. And that's fine. You know, it's up to them to decide how they want to work this out. But it almost seems like she tried to come to some sort of like bribe agreement to get her way, which I don't understand because we already came to a civil agreement on how to resolve this. So I don't know why she would do this, but essentially she says, can of the Tin Tin Hat one and work on a collab video after I get back from my vacation so can get the one thing I want, and in return we can make a video and I can send some of my subs towards your channel. No pressure, just seeing it as quid pro quo would be on the table. If not, I understand completely, dude. Why did you have to offer this sort of, hey, we could do a collab together and expose you to my subscriber base and hopefully you'll gain some subs? I don't understand why that needed to be offered in the first place. You guys already had an agreement. There's no reason to have this quid pro quo arrangement. It just kind of seems really weird. And when I saw that in his video, I was like, what? Like, why? You guys already agreed to something. He was already complying with the agreement and you were doing the same. So I don't understand. Why is there this, attempt to try and schmooze up to him to get what you want when you were already getting what you want? It just seems kind of weird. So he responds to this and he says, I'll erase it. And apparently in his video, he says he couldn't actually locate that comment. It was a response to a comment that he already deleted. So obviously he wasn't going to be able to find it. But I'll erase it. Thanks for the collab offer, but I will decline. You're obviously doing a great job. Keep it up. My niche is a different type of channel, which is true. Even if they did this collab together, the likelihood that any of her subscribers would stick around was very slim because not only did he do a video dissing her, which was still public after the strike was removed, but on top of that, they just do completely different types of content. So there's no likelihood her subscribers would stick around. Keep it up. You're going to grow huge. Thank you. I appreciate it. So it was just like this really weird request, this quid pro quo request. I just don't get that. Why would you need to do that? So that was when they were working on resolving the issues, which again, they were resolved. That was it, right? So suddenly, I can't share a lot of the details with you guys because unfortunately this conversation was off the record. But what I can say is that Destiny FOMO then reaches out to me. She's very upset that she's getting these like negative comments on her videos and stuff like that. And she's very upset that like, hey, we had this agreement and I feel like he's not really holding up to it. I've been very courteous to him that when people come to my videos and they talk smack about him, I say nothing but nice things about him and things of that nature. And anytime anybody talks smack about him, I delete those comments in my videos, which keep in mind, that was not part of the agreement. If she was doing this, she was doing it of her own volition. She was never asked to moderate her comments and prevent anybody from talking smack about Overthink Gaming. That was never in the terms. He doesn't care about that sort of thing. He just doesn't. So he would have never asked for that. And during the conversation we had, he never asked for anything like that. So for her to expect him to do the same when he clearly said, hey, I'll delete these comments that you want me to delete, but you can't expect me to continue moderating the comment section on my video. You just can't. And they agreed to that. She was upset that he was not continuing to moderate the comment section. And I explained to her, like, look, you can't expect him to do this, okay? You just can't. Like, this wasn't part of the agreement. And then at one point, she was weighing legal options or whatever, and I'm like, hey, if you think you're getting a lot of shit now, I warned you. I told her, I warned you. When you issued this false copyright strike, that was going to get you a lot of heat. Basically, any heat you were getting from the initial video, you doubled it when you issued a false copyright strike on that video. And sure, you retracted the strike, but still, the damage has already been done. If you think you're getting a lot of heat now, if you issue a legal threat to this guy, you're going to get even more. So initially, I was giving her advice, just saying, like, look, don't do this because you're just going to make things worse for yourself. But here's the problem. Here's the
She does
problem
it.
here. Before she spoke to me and she had this conversation with me, she had already threatened Overthink Gaming with a
Wow.
potential legal action against him, demanding the video
Wow.
taken down. Here is a DM conversation that she sent to Overthink Gaming. Let's have a look at it. Hey, heads up, I have been getting hundreds of mean and hundreds of hate messages and threats and
Wow.
harassment just based off your video the last few days. It's becoming very, very overwhelming, to be honest, and this isn't YouTube criticism. This is gang mob mentality. I'm weighing my options and on hold right now with the attorney service I pay through LegalZoom, which, by the way, if anybody's hiring LegalZoom to handle legal action for you, you're not getting the best legal advice to begin with. You're getting people who just want to take money out of your pocket. So, Destiny FOMO. If you're getting legal advice from LegalZoom, you might want to reevaluate where you're getting your legal advice from. Just a word of advice from.
Come on, mute it.
I appreciate you keeping your word and not feeding the trolls, but it's become cancerous right now. And here's the interesting thing. He's actually done follow-up videos where he briefly discussed this situation, and he said positive things about Destiny FOMO. That's the funny thing. She's acting like, well, I've been nice enough to say nice things about him, and I've removed any bad comments about him, but he's not doing the same. He actually has. That's the really interesting part about it. But anyway, getting a little sidetracked there. She goes on to state that I'm to the point where I'm going to have to take action on the video, and the lawyer is explaining the options now. I'm to the point where I don't give a fuck what videos the community makes about me after this happens, but the video has to come down or the comments have to be cleaned. Let me go ahead and move forward here. Comments have to be cleaned up. I'm tired on that cancer that is breeding off your video. I'm sorry, dude, but I do appreciate your topics. Keep in mind, this was sent an hour later, so it's almost like she's trying to rub up to him. But I do appreciate your topics and your video quality and production value. I really do, but it's just towards me and has gotten completely uncontrollable with the harassment coming. I'm sorry, dude. So essentially, she threatens to sue this guy. She says, I'm going to go to a lawyer and I'm going to talk to a lawyer about this situation because I think that I should have the right to have that video taken down. And I think that what you're doing to me is wrong. I'm getting so much harassment. And this really infuriated me, if I'm being completely honest, because I went on a limb to help this girl out before. There were other content creators who did videos about this situation, and they were all looking to me like, Tipster, why aren't you talking about this? And I try to explain to them, we're having a private conversation right now. I'm trying to help these people work things out, and they couldn't understand that. They wanted me to bury this girl, which, by the way, I want to let people know that's not what my channel does. About what's going on in the community. My goal is not to bury people. Rather, it's meant to expose the negative things that people are doing to this community and bring it to light to the community.
I don't bury people.
I'm not trying to destroy people's reputation. If anything, my hope is that people that are the subjects of my videos will see me talking about them and how what they did was wrong, and they'll course correct. If anything, that's what I'm hoping will happen as a result of my videos. But my goal is not to bury anyone or destroy their careers or get them canceled or any stupid shit like that. That's
okay.
not what my channel is for. But having said that,
You
I
say
got
that.
backlash for not covering this story. I even had a fellow content creator that I considered a friend come to me and be like, I think the only reason you helped her out is because you want to sleep with her.
Ha!
What? Like, I don't know where this girl lives. I barely know this girl other than the fact that I've watched her videos from time to time. Maybe there are some people who will give special treatment to female content creators in hopes that they're going to get their dick wet. I'm not one of those creators, so you could just get that bullshit out of your head. First of all,
Can Tipster even get it up for Destiny?
And that's just the stupidest fucking thing that I've ever heard. But literally, that's an argument that a fellow content creator made against me. I was getting so much shit. I put my reputation on the line for this girl. And this is the thanks I get. She's going to go and threaten this guy with legal action now. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, I did have a conversation with her about this, and I did express that, hey, you know, what you did was way out of line. I understand that you came to me and stuff like that, but little did I know at the time that you had already reached out to him and you had already threatened him with potential legal action. Now, again, she asked me to keep the conversation off the record, and as somebody who tries to maintain some level of professionalism, I'll respect that. But what I can tell you is that, yes, she has spoken to a lawyer, but no paperwork has been filed or anything like that at this time. So I don't know if she's going to go through with a lawsuit or anything like that, but just the mere fact, because she threatened this guy with a potential lawsuit, is absolutely
Jaw
ridiculous.
swang,
Moving on with a
swanging.
little bit more information.
If this isn't cringe, I don't know what that is. Dude, he's spinning fucking hats, bro.
He kind of covers it in a little bit.
Hi, Ben. You can't handle me calling this
I
cringe?
recommend you guys check it out so you can get more.
Okay.
I do want to say something to Destiny.
You don't like me? Fine. Okay. You're welcome to her opinion. The Gaming Otter fan, I appreciate you defending me, but Ben Carson's entitled to his opinion. Don't have to agree with what he says, but he's entitled to his opinion as long as Ben Carson is respectful. If he says, I think you're cringe, but you're a human being, okay, fine. Don't take it further. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like just earlier this year, her channel exploded in growth, which congratulations on the successful, massive growth and stuff like that.
He's spinning hats, bro. Okay.
And you definitely deserve the growth that you've earned. But the point that I want to make here is that there's something with new content creators that we've all gone through it. I've gone through it. I'm sure Overthink is going to go through it once his channel starts growing. Like, we've all hit this point where it's just part of YouTube. You're going to get harassment. People are going to criticize you. People are going to have mean things to say. It just happens. And at some point in your career as a content creator, you have to make the decision is, can I handle this? Is this something that I'm equipped to deal with? People saying horrible things about me, some of which are true, some of which are not true. It's a part of life as a content creator and as a public figure in general. People are not always going to say nice things about you. And you have to decide, do I want to continue doing this? And am I prepared to deal with this kind of crap? And over time, you start to realize that you should just fucking ignore it. And it's really not that difficult. Somebody says something negative about you, you just move on with your day. And you just fucking ignore them. I get criticized all the time. I get really fucked up things said about me, really horrible things said about my wife. I've even had people do real world shit to try and harass me and shit like that. It's just part of the gig. And again, you kind of have to accept that, and you kind of have to understand that as long as you want to be a content creator, this is something that you're going to have to deal with, and it's best to just ignore it and not bring attention to it. And I want to say that that is not unique to Destiny FOMO. I found a lot of people in the retro gaming community, and this is part of the reason why I'm not a part of the retro gaming community anymore. Aside from just not being interested in doing that kind of content anymore, this is part of the reason I left that community, is the fact that it seems like a lot of those people can't accept criticism, which I don't understand. As a content creator, you should be very open to accepting criticism, because criticism is a very valuable thing as a content creator.
Right.
It can help you become a better creator if you're doing something that maybe isn't the right way, or there's some way you can improve your content. Criticism is good, and it could help you improve. Now, that's not to say that every time you get criticized, it's valuable. Maybe you'll see something, but you can at least kind of like think of it like, hey, I don't necessarily think that criticism applies to my channel, but I do appreciate the criticism, and be open-minded to the criticism. So that's one thing about retro gaming content creators. They just seem like they're like not capable of accepting criticism. I've seen this with multiple creators. And the other thing is, they have this issue where they always feed the trolls. I'll never get it. Like, I've never seen any other community be so bad at that. They constantly feed the trolls. They bitch and moan and whine and complain about trolls bothering them and harassing them, but they'll give them the attention they want. And some of the levels that some of these creators go to is ridiculous. I've literally seen one creator try to dox one of his trolls. And I called him out on it. I'm like, dude, this is not acceptable. You can't do that. At the time, I had told them that we literally just called
Okay.
out 2 content creators, one of them being Keemstar, for doing that exact same thing. Doxing is not okay. You can't do that shit. And then there was another situation of another content creator who was so bothered by internet trolls that he actually created a sock account YouTube channel where he would create videos talking shit about his trolls while using a voice changer. Bear in mind, a voice changer that was very easy to reverse so you can hear their real voice. This is the ridiculousness I've seen in the retro community. So it's not just Destiny FOMO, it's a lot of those creators in general, and I will never understand why they can't accept criticism and why they can't just ignore fucking internet trolls and haters. It's really not that difficult. So the way I want to sum this up before I wrap up this video is that Destiny FOMO, to this day, I still really enjoy your content. I think you're a good person, but you were so wrong in this situation. I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and help you resolve this situation with Overthink Gaming, which is why I put my reputation on the line for you to help you solve this problem. And I was happy that we were able to come to some kind of agreement. But then you broke that agreement when you demanded that he continue to moderate his comments when that was never part of the agreement to begin with. And then you threatened him with legal action. That is unacceptable in the community. And if you think you got a lot of backlash before for him just making the video and then you issuing the false copyright strike before, you have no idea what's about to happen now. I did not want to report this story, but after seeing all the details of how poorly you handled the situation, I had no choice but to do so. Because what you did is absolutely unacceptable. I hope that you can learn from your mistakes. I hope that you can learn to accept criticism, and I hope that you can learn to just ignore the mean comments. We all get them. All of us. I get them constantly. I don't fucking pay attention to them. At the very least, if I do acknowledge them, it's in a satirical manner where I'm making fun of something stupid that someone said about me. But for the most part, I don't pay attention to that shit. And that's what you have to do. If you really want to be a content creator and you want to be successful and you want to remain on this platform, you can't keep feeding the trolls. And you do have to be open to some level of criticism. So I hope that you learn from this experience, and I hope that you understand why this is such a big deal. Because this is absolutely unacceptable behavior in this community. I'm sorry that I had to report on this story because I know it's something that you didn't want me to do, but it had to be done. It really had to be done because it was bad enough to issue the false copyright strike. You guys worked this thing out, and then you went back on the agreement and threatened to sue this guy. And I don't know what you're going to end up doing in the end, but just the mere fact that you would go as far as to threaten this guy, you've gone too far. But anyway, guys, those are just my opinions on this situation. What do you all think about this situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I always like to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, guys, this is Tipster here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Just some food for thought. That was funny. That's funny. I never thought that a girl I kept seeing every single would get into YouTube drama. Oh, Rick's dancing. Oh, yay, Rick. She could possibly sue for defamation. That is something much different than a copyright strike. I have seen some of her videos, and she does not talk about other channels. Constructive criticism good, but demonizing people you don't know is really dumb. Where has respect? What happened to decency? Damn, her video got
This is
22,000.
fucking cool. Just like there's probably gonna be some comments under here where somebody didn't watch it and they make fun of my green hair, or they make fun of this, or they make fun of that, and they just go for physical things because it's very easy to see. And so they don't listen to my point that I am using her situation to address the problem with all of these channels and how they need to be fixed. You know, if your issue is with YouTube flagging, yeah, she's the only one doing that. Go for it. That's why she's being the center of the spotlight. If your main issue, again, we got that first issue, that secondary issue. If your first priority issue is she's silencing the people, she's false flagging videos to get them taken down, yeah, they're gonna make videos about that. From my understanding, most YouTubers have focused on that. And I think because they've only focused on that and occasionally brought up the secondary issue of the anime, that's where people are going, well, why aren't you mad at all anime channels? Why are you just mad at Susie Liu? And it's because their main issue was this, so their main issue was that. Just like there's somebody who may say, Rachel, the false flagging is far more important. Why aren't you talking about that? Because I don't know YouTube. And they may not know the anime industry. So we kind of want to focus on the things we speak about. That's why I'm making this video, is I'm not trying to jump on the bandwagon. I'm trying to provide the secondary thing that seems to be going on through most of these videos, that it is still illegal, and here's why. So the final section, and I'm trying to put this all in one long video, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to make a second one. I don't want to. I want this just to be one and done. Final point. What can Susie Liu do to protect her career or to salvage her career at this point? A couple things, because I don't want to see a content creator stop creating. She clearly makes people happy, and that's a great thing. She wouldn't have so many stands. She didn't matter to some people. So I don't want her to go away. I don't want her YouTube channel deleted or taken down. I don't want any of that. How she can salvage it? She has to stop the false flagging. She does. You cannot silence critique, okay? If you guys want to take this video and make a critique video about it as well, by all means, go ahead. And I'm not going to flag you. I'm not going to silence you, because you have a right to say those things. Now, YouTube does have a right to take down the bullying videos. I don't blame her for wanting the bullying videos down. Just like if you uploaded a video just calling me a fat-ass whore, the whole thing, yeah, that's gonna fall into bullying. I'm probably still not gonna watch the video, but if somebody else flags you for it, don't be surprised. It goes against YouTube's terms of service. So she's gotta stop flagging people that aren't doing things. She needs to learn what fair use is. Because I think if she knew what fair use was, she wouldn't have flagged the original video saying, oh, I own the copyright to my face. Because it was transformative content. At the time, and maybe she does now, she didn't understand the transformative content, or she did understand it and chose to ignore it. So she's got to stop the false flagging. She already has started to implement one thing that could save her. That's editing down the videos. And I think that's a great step towards a solution here. If she keeps doing that, it'll be great. She needs to create videos edited down like PewDiePie's was, versus uploading the entire content. She could even go, you know, she's still been uploading gameplay footage, uploading gameplay all the way playthroughs, and that's fine. I'm not here to tell you you cannot do an entire playthrough and re-upload it, and that is totally fine. Because even then, your game experience is going to be completely different from somebody else's game experience. Because of that, you'll have different situations that happen. She also has to stop selling the anime. And I do not know, as of this video being recorded, because her Patreon was just taken down when I recorded this, I don't know if she's still uploading the uncut, unedited versions on her website. If she has stopped that, brilliant. That's 2 out of 3 so far. And if you are a content creator, or you find a content creator who is doing this, please make them aware it's not okay. You can't keep doing this. This counts for Patreon as well. She also probably, in my opinion, would need to do some damage control about her public representation. She has been called out for allegedly lying about things, being hypocritical about other things. So she needs to apologize, in my opinion. She has to step down. You have to drop the armor. You have to drop the sword and the shield and like, hey, everybody chill. Let's all talk. Because if we continue, and this goes on for everybody else who's watching this, if we continue to attack, we're never gonna be able to actually have a conversation. If we can't ever have an actual conversation, we're just gonna be two people screaming at each other. Now, with that said, there are gonna be some people who want to scream. You can be willing and open to talk to somebody and they're just gonna wanna yell at you. That's fine. You just understand that those people probably aren't worth arguing with. They're looking for an argument. They're not looking for a discussion. Also, if you're one of the people that are just being a jackass to this woman, stop it. Because you're also representing the rest of us who are trying to articulate our critiques you got to remember that there are some people that are going, oh, well, all of you are like this. All of you act like that. They're generalizing. So you're giving the generalizing people ammo to use against us. And it's also just not it's a dick move. It's a fucking dick move. You don't need to bully people, okay? You can comment that she's breaking the law. You can comment about her hypocrisy. You can comment about her lies. The comments about her physical appearance and all that shit, you know, I get you're angry, especially with the way she's represented herself publicly. She comes across as, so yeah, people are pissed. You gotta stop it. You have to actually be willing to open up and discuss with people. I'm sure some of these YouTubers would love to have a civil conversation and discuss things with you. And maybe that's something you should look into. And I'm talking about you as if Susie Lou has made it this far in the video. I haven't even found this video. I don't know. But if you are, that's what you need to do. You need to start being able to talk about things.
How many people watching? 3. Wow. Must be a slow night.
I understand in a situation like this, it can feel like everybody's out against you. And that's not a good feeling. It can seem like a mob is coming at you. Just like I'm sure there's going to be a mob of her supporters that come at me blindly, not watching the video, just attacking. And there are people on the other side who are also just blindly attacking her. That doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help the conversation. So with that said, those are my opinions. Those are my thoughts about the whole thing. Please do not send hate towards anyone or any content creator mentioned in this video. I don't want to be somebody who just only talks about this. I'm gonna get back to my gameplay videos. I've got a new ARC video coming soon. But if this situation escalates and you think my opinion as somebody who has a good understanding of this field, you want to hear that opinion, yeah, I'm fine to make a second video. But it looks like Susie Lou's fixing her shit. I goddamn hope so. Because it cannot be enjoyable to have that much negative tension on you. There are people who like it, like a certain person who may give their cats vodka. They don't seem to mind the negative attention. But she doesn't strike me as one of those people, just from outsider looking in. Again, I don't know her. I do hope just from one human looking at another human, and also the humans that have been affected by this. You know, the content creators who worked hard on their videos, who had them silenced for no reason. Not talking about the bullying videos. Talking about the other ones that were just fair critique, or fair use as in utilizing her gameplay. You have to look at all the people that have been affected negatively. As a human looking at all those people, I feel for the content creators. I feel for her, believe it or not, as just another human looking at another human. I don't know her whole situation. Maybe she didn't know about it. It seems unlikely as she went to efforts to avoid those content claims, just like the other creators are doing. Hello, it's Rachel from 10 p.m. I've been at this since 10 a.m. I just wanted to say that also if you are a content creator who was just following the layout and assumed that because other content creators were doing it that it was legal, I'm not shaming you for not knowing. I hope this video just helps you be able to transform your content to where it is legal. That's a whole different thing. This has to stop because it's not fair to the people who worked on the animation, to the people who created those shows, to the voice actors, to the animators, to the writers, everybody involved lose money because of this. And therefore, you'll see fewer shows. You won't see second seasons to things. If you're ever like, oh, I wanted a second season to this show and it never happened, it's because it didn't make enough profit. That's almost always what it is. Occasionally you get somebody who says, no, I don't want to make another season. No, I don't want to do this. But most of the time, if it makes a profit, they're gonna fucking milk it till it's dead. And so if you take away that profit, you take away second seasons, you take away good stories, you put voice actors out of work, you put animators out of work, you put writers out of work. It's still what it does. Just like if you're breaking the law and everybody else is breaking the law, you're still breaking the law. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, as I'm sure I'm going to get downvoted into oblivion for stating this, and probably lose out on some jobs. But I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Holy hell, I don't know how long this video is going to be. If you guys would like to help support the channel, as I make genuinely no money off of this, I have a Patreon that I'll link below, where I don't upload anime. I'll just let you know that there. We also have a Discord you can join, and I'll put the link in the bio as well. And I hope to see you over there. You can follow me on Twitter if you want. I'll probably be talking with more people about this over there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please be civil. Please be kind. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.
Okay, man. Good luck with that. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. But you're just a boy with a dream. And I get that. I've been a boy with a dream. I just did it through legal channels.
That's not fucking cool. Just like there's probably gonna be some I have included some timestamps if you want to jump around. I also want...
I mean, it's so long.
That's not fucking cool. Just like... I have included some timestamps if you want to jump around. I also want to state that everything in this video talking about Suzy Lou and everything I do not know for a fact. These are just things that I have heard on the internet. If I forget to say allegedly sometimes, I would like to not put myself at risk of a lawsuit. So let's throw the word allegedly and just like fucking all of this that involves what Suzy Lou has done. Preface, Suzy Lou has allegedly done all of this stuff. Some of it can be proven later. I don't know, but I'm here to save my ass from a lawsuit. Everything in this video about Suzy Lou and what she's done, throw allegedly on top of that. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's a long one. Here's the timestamps. Feel free to jump around. Hello there, my name is Rachel Messer. I am a voice actress for anime and video games. Some of the video games that I've been in are Borderlands 3, Smite, Paladin, System Shock, Warframe. Some of the anime include One Piece Stampede, Black Clover, Goblin Slayer, Tokyo Ghoul Re, My Hero Academia, and more are listed on my website. I'm making this video today to give some insight on the Suzy Lou situation. And this is coming from someone who works in the anime industry, which I believe her actions have been hurting. And I'm not just going to talk about her actions, but other YouTubers who are doing the same thing. I would also like to mention a few things when it comes to anime and their copyright systems and how I've had to deal with that as a voice actor as well, and why I believe she's infringing on copyright laws, and not just her, but all the other content creators who are doing this on this platform. Firstly, for those Suzy Lou stands out there, I'm not coming at your girl, okay? This is not an attack piece. This is not a hate piece. I don't know the woman. What I'm doing is using this situation to address issues that need to be fixed. And the Suzy Lou thing that I will get to does draw a lot of attention to it. And so I'm using the spotlight to showcase all of the people breaking laws in this situation. If you've come here to see me bully or harass or attack someone online, it ain't gonna happen. Sorry, you can go ahead and click off the video, but I am going to talk about the legal things that I know from this industry and hopefully address ways we can fix this problem and this community, because it's not just Suzy Lou. And I also ask that those viewing this video do not harass, attack, dox, or bully anyone, be it Suzy Lou or anybody in the comments. I'm not about that. I do not. In fact, I condemn it. I have heard people say that she's being bullied, she's being doxxed. I do not know how true the claims are to the latter, the doxing situation. I'm not Suzy Lou, and I'm not a person who doxed her, so I have no clue if that's true or not. But I do know that she has been bullied for her looks in comments that I can see on Twitter. I ain't about that, Chief. Move it along. This video is also a terrible idea for me to make, as every time I speak out about an issue on the internet, it does not work out well for me, but God bless it, I'm still gonna do it, because I have a right to use my voice. You have a right to use your voice. Suzy Lou has a right to use her voice. Everybody can. Please do, in fact. Feel free to use this video, leave comments underneath it, or even make your own video about the situation if you feel so inclined. What I will ask is that please be civil, understand that we're here to have a discussion, and we get absolutely nowhere from just shouting at each other. Please be willing to listen, as I'm sure all of us have some common ground in this, be it, I'm tired of this bullshit, in which case I'm really confused why you're on the video. It could be something along the lines of, I don't like anime being pirated. I don't like it either, and we can use common ground about it. It could even genuinely be, you're stupid. No, that doesn't fucking work. I ask that you be respectful to anyone you talk to in the comments. Understand that people are still people behind the keyboard, and you never know what someone else is going through, especially with the times going on right now. I know I'm basically asking the internet to have a civil conversation on the internet, so we're fucked either way. But God bless it, I'm gonna try anyway. If you guys are used to my gaming content, which is normally what's uploaded over here, this is going to be a drastically different video. I'm not gonna make as many jokes. I will still curse a lot because that's just part of my vocabulary, but I am going to try to represent the 10 years that I've spent as a voice actor coherently and respectfully in this video. So this is completely different from games. If you don't want to follow it, feel free to just go watch one of the gaming videos. I'm going to break this video down into, smacking my hand on the table is what I'm going to break it into. I'm going to break this video down into 5 sections. The first being a brief summary of who Suzy Lu is, what happened briefly, and I'm summarizing all of this very briefly, what happened to cause her to get so much attention. It's going to be used to lightly catch up people who kind of know who Suzy Lu is, or if you have absolutely no clue and you're just basically screaming at the screen, NANI? I'm going to explain that shit to you. Don't worry, I'll break it down. The second section is going to cover my experience with the anime industry and copyrights as a voice actor who voices those characters, and what voice actors kind of have to deal with in regards to the copyright law for anime, and how I think it relates to this situation when it comes to content creators. The third section being other channels who are doing exactly what Suzy Lu has been doing. Are they breaking the law? If so, how? If not, why? If they are, why is Suzy Lu being the one that is the primary focus of this attention and not them as well? I'm also going to talk about other channels that I think are damaging the industry, maybe even, if not worse, at least on par with what's going on here, why I believe Suzy Lu is heading for a lawsuit, and the fifth section being how she can salvage her career. Disclaimer! Disclaimer. I'm stuck! Disclaimer. I only represent my opinion on things. I do not represent any of the anime companies that I have worked for or currently work with. I do not represent any of the anime that I have been in this situation. I do not represent any of the games or anything. I speak only and entirely for myself, and my opinions are my own. I do not represent the anime companies in this video. I do not even represent other voice actors. I am speaking completely and entirely based off my own goddamn opinion. This is also not a video to attack people, and I don't want to use it to attack people. I want to showcase what is going on, and basically, while there is a spotlight on the situation, let's go ahead and fix the problem. I'm not here to jump on the bandwagon. In fact, I'm very hesitant to make this video, as I know for a fact it will have a negative impact on my career as a voice actor by speaking out about this. I already have enough issues. The social media team clearly doesn't like me. They have never given me a shout out or retweet when I was the lead in shows. And they do that for other people who are the lead in shows or even supporting characters. Those actors will get retweets, birthday shout outs and everything, and I don't. Because I won't shut the fuck up. I don't know. Already, having this video out there is probably going to get me blacklisted from some directors. Probably people are going to see this more as me fanning the flames than just trying to address a situation where I see so much misconception, so many people arguing. I'm just here to clarify some things from the perspective of somebody who works in the industry that is directly being affected by this content. That's it. I'm not here to bandwagon, and I'm not here for views. Because to me, my voice acting career is far more important than my views. That's why I have Rachel Messer Gaming as a channel, and my Rachel Messer channel, that is my acting reels, my anime showcase reels, my video game showcase reels, all of that is on a completely different channel because I want to represent those two things differently. This is just a weird area where this kind of crosses over. My final disclaimer is this is not information that I have heard from the anime companies directly. This is information that I have heard from either directors that I work with in the anime industry or from other actors who went to the anime companies and asked them, I swear to God, I am a voice actor. Can you imagine how many takes it takes me to get my goddamn lines right? But I talked to actors who spoke with, see, that's how you work around it. Asks is a weird word. Who spoke with company representatives who told them, yes, this is legal, or no, this is not legal, and this is what you do instead. I am simply passing that information off. Maybe you are a voice actor and you also want to know, hey, can I legally do this or can't I? Or maybe you're just somebody who's curious about this whole thing and how an anime industry professional feels about this situation. And also, if you are an anime actor who has a lot of experience, if I miss anything, please leave it in the comments below. So, let's get into it. Suzy Lu is a YouTuber whom I actually will not use any of her footage, any of that in this video. I'm going to use some tweets of hers. However, since she has stated in previous copyright claims that she believes her face to be copyright content and strikes channels down for that, I will do the same thing she does to copyright content and will turn down the opacity, but will use her tweets because I'm going to source some of those. And if you think that's me making a joke or attacking, it's not. I'm just using the same rules and logic that Suzy Lu is using. Suzy Lu is a YouTuber who uploads some gameplay content, as well as previously reacting to full uploaded episodes of anime, where for the most part she just watches the anime. Now there are ways that this can be done correctly and law-abiding, and ways that it shouldn't be done, and completely just staring at the screen, watching the anime go by, occasionally going, oh my god, what? That's why I get paid the big bucks, guys. Occasionally doing that does not count as a reaction channel, as I will warrant later on. For the most part, for those of you who don't understand YouTube, welcome to the f***ing club. But I'm also not going to cover most of this from a YouTube standpoint. I am very new to YouTube. I don't have a lot of experience with it. I have friends that are very successful on this platform who have helped me out with understanding how tags work, understanding when to post, understanding these smaller things. I've also understood that how kind of copyright strikes work, but I have been very lucky to have friends in the YouTube field that know what this is, and they help me. But I am not an expert when it comes to YouTube. So I'm going to lightly gloss over that for those who know, because I think that is a huge factor in how all this blew up. But I'm not going to go into the YouTube side. I will let somebody who is a far more successful YouTuber than I explain that situation. You'll hear me refer to things flagging the video.
Oh my god, I love this.
You can claim the content as your own. And when you claim that content as your own, you can choose to do one of two things with it. You can claim the ad revenue, the money that the video would make from the ads, and then it gets sent to you. Or you can request YouTube to take it down, and the video is deleted. So if you hear me talk about flagging videos, copyright strikes, which there is a difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike, but I'm mainly just going to use the term flagging. Susie Lee was going about her business, uploading full episodes of anime with the past return down for, from my understanding, about a year, maybe more than that. Her channel had been terminated in the past for breaching copyright because she was uploading content that anime companies saw, said, yo, this is mine, take it down. They flagged the video, and then you could choose, do I want to make the money she's gonna make from this video, or do I want to take it down? And they chose shut down. Her channel was deleted, then reinstated. How all that works, I don't know. Don't do the YouTube thing too well. What sparked all of this, from my understanding, is Susie Lou's clip was used for creative use, for fair use. And we will talk about this when we get into my experience with anime companies and copyrights. You can utilize something called fair use, which means you have transformed the content, be it to make a joke or a reference, or to make a point. Criticism videos.
Hold on.
Fair use. I could, legally speaking, put Susie Lou's videos in this video, where instead here I'll tell you what she said or what she did. I can instead show you those clips, but she has been flagging them. That is against the law, because I have transformed the content and I'm using the content to make a point, to make criticism, to give opinions about. That counts as fair use. She then flagged the video and demanded the video be deleted by YouTube. YouTube deleted the video. I'm not going to get into the YouTube rules.
Oh, she's talking right now. She's talking right now. Okay, so she's playing followers only chat. Do I have to follow?
Yes, you are offering up a replacement for that original work, which means
I hate Earth. Everyone in the neighborhood hates us. I'm Tyler, and I think you suck.
Hold on, you guys. I gotta do something real quickly.
it's absolutely fair use. To give you, what about Mark After Dark?
Oh, that was wrong. Rachel Messer. There it is.
That's the 3 out of 4 strikes. Or is that 4 out of 4 strikes?
That's 4 out of 4.
Hey, we got the law guy. Gaming Otter. I love otters, by the way. Did you guys know that a group of otters is called a romp? It's adorable. Gaming Otter, thank you for the follow. I don't actually... Hogla? Is that right? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the follow. Yes, the law guy. Yes, he's actually one of the videos that I've been watching to prepare for my response video. I'm gonna link it in the video description. I'm also going to, at the very end of the video, I'm gonna link to his. I'm gonna put like the little where it can tell you to click to the next video. I'm gonna put it as one of his videos as the next video because I've learned an absolute lot from it, and it's been very, very helpful. But yeah, I think like that's the difference there too, and you know, with it, it's also like some of the time where we've seen them pause to talk, and this is where I'm gonna. I said that I was gonna. Hi, cutie. You do not need constant attention. My hand is getting sore from patting you. Oh, so I can move to this hand? You're a smart dog. Okay, you get. So the times we see them pause. It's not like I don't know, I don't watch a lot of anime, believe it or not. I watch the anime that I'm gonna voice in because personally I want to see where the story's going. I can prepare a little bit. I also like to hear what the Japanese have done with the piece because I think the Japanese actors for most anime are you know, it can be really, really good. And so with that, I see them pause and I had to watch Suzy Lu, for example, and this is where I said it's actually going to change my opinion on how I feel about the Suzy Lu situation because I was told that she had changed her content, and at the time I didn't want to give her the views. I didn't want to go support that with like an ad at the front and everything. Now at the time, now that I've started researching it further, I know that if I give one view, I can give a better critique, better feedback, and then fewer people may go support this type of thing. Not that I'm saying I'm not saying don't support anybody, because that can be taken wrong legally. So I'm not saying that. But I have looked more into her videos after I was told she was editing them, and the anime that I had to follow was Inuyasha.
Really?
I've watched Inuyasha countless times. I know that anime so well, and I watched episode 1 and 2 done by her, and the pausing to say things. They weren't like PewDiePie and Yu-Gi-Oh! He would say, rare card. You know, how did the voice actor say this unironically? Even, I think I was on the phone with Sid during this time, and I paused Suzy Lu's video to rant about shit that I'd just seen in the anime, more than she paused to rant about the anime. And I even said, man, I should just be doing reaction videos to this, because I got a lot to say. Oh, we're back over here. Gaming Otter, thank you for the bits. What's your favorite anime? Sailor Moon. Absolutely. So let me catch up on chat row. Ho as in the gardening implement, and the G from garage. Hoach.
Yeah,
Hoach.
see,
Hoach.
and the thing of it is the pauses that they're taking there are very brief, but the overall scope of their video still contains 90% or more of the anime itself.
I got
and
the whole
so
plot
that,
of those.
even those minute pauses don't change the fact that she's basically supplanting the original work by doing so.
Yeah, because I was watching the second episode, and Inuyasha makes a comment about Kagome's smell, and she pauses the video to go, why does it matter what she smells like? Well, I actually know the anime really well, and I know that later on, and same with like why was the sacred jewel in my body was kept in. These are all things that are explained later by Kaede in like episode 3 or maybe at the end of episode 2. So you could cut that line out because it's going to be explained by another character better later on. Yeah, everybody's wondering why the jewel was in Kagome's body, but you don't get your answer there. You get your answer later with Kaede explaining the reincarnation. So it would have been better to cut that line out, put the reincarnation section in, which is probably still in. What if you're watching in a private viewing party online, say like less than 10 people, and it's not saved anywhere, and you own a subscription service to where you're watching from? I don't know about that one, Porcelain, actually. That's a good question because I've been asked by some of my subs
If
on
the
Twitch.
subscription service allows it, then it's okay.
Yeah, and it really does depend because, like, I've been asked by, oh, let's have sub night. where we all get together and we watch Rachel talk about some of the anime that she was in while watching some of the anime she was in. And I've never known if that's legal or not, and I've never gotten permission from the company, so I've always just said, oh, I'll ask next time I'm there. So I haven't. It's better safe than sorry. Little Karibo was doing episode-by-episode reaction of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, showing only pictures or small, but was also supporting official releases, so that's a different thing than Susie, right? Since they're more like piece by piece. I would have to
Well,
look
see,
into
the
that.
thing is with copyright, supporting the original release does not make your content more fair use.
Right.
That's irrelevant. It's a good thing to do, but it's completely irrelevant.
And yeah, I would have to look into that because sometimes a company will say, yeah, you know, they're doing well, we're getting people coming in from this, we're fine with that. But also other times companies will say, now we don't want anybody doing this actually, so we're going to strike everybody down because we want everybody to have to watch. And this is why you see some domains, like some anime even specifically, are highly protected while other ones are very easily pirated. Like I still cannot find anywhere online, be it, you know, I actually searched for this pirated or not as an example for this video. I was in the One Piece Stampede movie dub. I can't find that anywhere. That is so goddamn locked down by whatever's going on. They're highly protecting that one. So I can't find it re-uploaded. I can't find it on, you know, a pirating site is Kiss Anime. I can't, which I'm not promoting, by the way. I'm just saying, like, I've gone to all these sites where people go, oh, well, if you wanted to watch the anime, you could watch it here, but I want to watch the reaction instead. I can't find it because Funimation is locking that shit down. They want the sales from that. They want that for sure. So they're protecting that domain far more than they are, say, Azure Lane. You can find Azure Lane re-uploaded places. Tell them. Not legal advice. Generally speaking, the license to the service will say what it permits to do. Household, number of seats, viewers. Oh, wow. I'm writing that down.
So that's basically if the subscription service allows it, then there will be something for that.
Subscription notice. If you're fine with me including that, if you don't want to include it, you can totally just strike it. I'll strike it out. Dark Floyd, thank you for the follow. We'll have to work on the pronunciation guide. I'm just terrible. You've no idea. Every time I have to say something in anime, I'm like, please tell me. Like, I actually started learning Japanese so I could make sure that I pronounce the Japanese better, and the Japanese lines and everything. But then when we were doing Azure Lane, there were like German names and Belfast. Oh my God, I remembered the name. It's Belfast. Belfast in which bothers me. I think the voice actress is amazing as Belfast in the dub.
Interesting.
But I would have liked her to be Irish. Belfast, Ireland.
Right.
Ireland. But yeah, we were saying a lot of names, and like some of the German names, I was like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing here, guys. And then there was another anime where I had to speak Chinese, and I was like, God bless it. I'm not qualified. So it was like I was having to make, like, my whole focus on that line was to say everything right and believable. Inuyasha is my favorite anime. It's such a good one. It's an old one, but you can just sync up watch parties. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the we're all gonna watch this together kind of thing. All this law and fair use talk, and all I want to do is eat M&Ms and pass out while watching. Dude, you got M&Ms? Nice. I feel like Susie Lou's reactions are random surface level thoughts.
They are.
Watching anime. Yeah, and that's another difference. Is
Absolutely what it is.
Yeah, PewDiePie's, and even JonTron's with his, like, you know, show reviews. They're not surface level reactions. JonTron will include jokes. Like, I watched his a Real Haunting episode, and he had like just a joke where like the frisbee was like flying by and he was trying to swat it away, and so that's like a nice little bit you can include. Shikate, I'm so sorry. Thank you for the follow. And see, most of those things are like commentary, they're jokes, but not just generalized commentary. Like PewDiePie was talking about, how did the voice actors do this unironically? How did they beat his grandpa up? He just lost in cards. Why is he on the ground? Like, why can he tell that Yu-Gi-Oh's losing this duel or winning this duel? How the hell does he know this? These are all, you know, more in-depth commentary than just like, oh, and remember last episode when they said this? Oh
my God, I hope thing.
Oh my God, they're fighting? No! Why are they fighting? Oh, don't do that. This is not gonna end well for them. Ollie, you're upside down. I love him. Oh, you get it, buddy.
Oh, she's gone. She's back in Doggyland again.
Look at him go. What a brave little trooper. Yeah. Really, I'm just a reaction channel to my
Oh wow, it's Tipster.
My stream is, honestly. Everything wrong with what I'm saying is a reaction channel, but instead of just doing copyright stuff, I'm just me reacting to my dog, which is legal. So, if you came for just reactions, here you go. Look at him! Okay, did you see his little legs flop? Are you done? No, he's still going. Get it, buddy. He made eye contact with me. I love him.
We lost her.
He doesn't do this very often. He only does this like 17 times a day.
Only 17 times a day.
You understand, he's a precious gift to the world. All dogs are. The more time I spend at home, and I already knew this to begin with, but like the more I just treasure my dogs and everything glorious that they are. Maybe it's because I'm having to deal with internet people, but I'm just like, God, look at him! Okay, sorry. I stand cats personally. Got 2 of them. They're pretty good. Who's Rachel talking to the call? This is Sid Alpha. He's
Hello.
I guess you could call him a YouTuber.
Yeah, that's something I occasionally do. I actually just realized there's no camera of me on the screen, and Rachel can see me. I realized every time I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually looking into the camera.
Yeah, I was like, at the start of this, I was like, I like that I'm the only one that can see your camera, and because I don't know if you want me to show you or not. I can make a little window with you.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
All right, let me put that
I mean,
up.
hell, I'm on Arthur streams on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Display capture, and then how do I fix it? Oh, we're going everywhere.
Oh my God.
What is happening right now? Oh, you did display capture. That's right.
Fucking up everything in my life. That's what's going on. How's it going with you? All right, so if I'm making it let me full screen because it throws off my leg balance. Okay, so how do we found this out where it's Alt. Okay.
Yes, it's Alt.
And then I'll pull this down, and then I'll make it bigger. And then I'll turn down the opacity, and then I'll flip the screen.
And then you can just react to me.
No, I'd rather react. No offense. I'd rather react to Ollie.
That's fair.
Every morning, this is TMI, but every morning when I wake up, I tell my dogs that the reason the sun shone this morning is because they exist, and it's absolutely fucking true. If I ever have a child, do you know how special they're gonna feel? Because like I tell Ollie, I'm like, you're a king. You're a king, and he is, and he makes the sun rise every morning because to me the sun wouldn't rise without you. Oh my dog so much. All right, I fixed it. There you go. There's the Sid word. Featuring my dogs. So when do we get a direct Ollie cam? I actually have the Ollie cam still set up, but he likes his chair back there, and so I've got to get extension cords, USB extenders, and extend them all the way back there so we can get some Ollie cams soon. All right, let me jump back. Rachel's kid may still get outrun by the doggos.
That's entirely possible, actually. It's probable.
Video locked up for me. Did it lock up for anybody else? I don't know.
No, it hasn't locked up.
I like that my dogs at some point during the stream have brought in just a rag here, because apparently that's their toy. They have 2 boxes filled with toys. But sometimes you just need one of my cloths. It's all right. This is how it is now. So if you guys have any questions or anything, like feel free to type in the chat, because I know we were talking about something and then I got distracted by love.
You were going through comments.
Oh, okay.
Gaming out. Thank you for the bits.
Let me scroll up to where the question was there, because I can see there. Is the best anime out of Twitch 10 out of 10? Would you ever play Animal Crossing? Really, would you like to visit my island? I actually do want to play Animal Crossing. I have it, and I have a Switch. I just don't have a game capture card.
Oh.
We're working on that though.
Yeah, I think you're setting up a new one, right?
Something like that. Yeah. I didn't totally buy you one or anything. So.
Sid Word.
She really hates it when I do that.
I fucking hate you. Sid Alpha's face reveal. This is the big moment. All right, Sid.
I'm sorry. I'm
Sell your
yes,
OnlyFans.
You may all be completely disappointed. This is what I look like. So it's terrible. I know.
I loved your Tomb Raider playthrough so far. Super entertaining. Thank you so much. That was a bitch and a half to edit because of the oh my god, like I think I called you in between the two and I went, I can't. I don't know if I can do this again. Like every time I've tried to use Streamlabs and OBS, with the exception of like the first few videos, they constantly fucked up. And it's been like I have to go back and add music, I have to go back and add things, and it was just so, even my audio there was unusable, so I had to replay the whole game again. Mega Mini, I'm screwing that. Mega Minute. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I tried. Okay, that was actually me trying. Please don't hate. Thank you for the follow. We're waiting for Sid's OnlyFans. Aren't we all? See, Rachel looks nice without makeup. Thank you, I appreciate that. I think Sid looks pretty without makeup. Sid, you're pretty in my eyes.
You're probably one of only like 5 people on the face of this planet that would say that, honestly. So
You know, guys get upset normally when I call them pretty. But I feel like pretty is nice.
Doesn't bother me.
Moment.
It's never bothered me.
Thanks for the bits, Otter. All right, there's a giant thing here, so let's see this. Rachel, if copyright is such a big problem with the anime industry, why hasn't pirated sites been taken down? So that's another difference, and that's a good thing of its own. I'll grab that and copy it because it looks like it may get lost real quick. I want to read the rest of it. As you said before, the reason people are targeting Suzu is because I actually don't know if it's, and I want to address this in the follow-up video. Yes, she is one of the bigger content creators. At the time, I thought she was the biggest, and I asked around because I was, YouTube search engine optimization is some bullshit. So when you search anime reaction channels, none of the ones that people have sourced that are bigger than her even popped up. So I was trying to find all these videos, but also like there are a good deal of channels doing it. So it's like, okay, well, do I have to just spend 3 hours trying to search through everything? So I asked on Twitter and I said, could you guys please link me everything? So there are a couple channels that are bigger than her. I don't necessarily think, and this is why I was another part of the thing I'll cover in the update video on Monday, is I did explain that terribly. That is completely on me. As I do say, you're the biggest channel, just like when Rice Gum deflected saying, oh, these smaller channels did it. He's actually not bigger than Jake Paul. So he didn't pull well, Jake Paul did it and he's bigger than me. I feel like I pointed at you accidentally. You're Jake Paul now. And so it's not necessarily that she is the biggest channel. Part of it is because she's been flagging people, her attitude towards things, the way she's been behaving. I think all that is far more of why she's being focused, and I did do very terribly at explaining that. So I would like to clarify that in the update video, because that's entirely on me.
Yeah, it is basically because the Streisand effect is kicked in because of her own attitude and actions. She has made herself the most prominent visually in terms of this type of debate, and that's why she tends to be the focus for everything. Also, she continues to seem to act in bad faith.
She's not doing great things with the PR over there. But why would the anime waste their time over a YouTuber who has made a whole website for anime reactions that doesn't even top the amount of views pirated websites like Kiss Anime get? Why doesn't the anime company go for websites like this? Okay, so I don't know necessarily why they wouldn't go for specific websites like Kiss Anime. I do not know, and they may have something going on with Kiss Anime. They may have an ongoing lawsuit. I have no genuine clue. Where I can tell you that the YouTubers, like the other content creators who are doing this and everything, will get struck is one, I can promise you, absolutely promise you, Funimation knows about Suzy Liu. Okay? I have heard from people who have said I've reported her to Funimation. Some people have even said Funimation has gotten back to me about her. Now, I'm not speaking for Funimation, but from my understanding, and I've even told directors about this, and they said, does Funimation know you need to tell Funimation. So there's a lot of people that, and like I have, this is not a flex, this sounds so bad. I could literally text the person who runs Funimation and give them the link to Susie Liu's thing and send it and say, hey, this is going on. I could do that the same thing with all of the other channels if I had the time and the feel for it. Now, I don't think that's fair to the other channels because somebody somewhere has started this trend of how this is portrayed, and they've gone, well, they haven't looked into it, and so they went, oh, well, okay, so if they're all doing it, this must be legal, because otherwise, why would they be getting away with it, which is a false logic as it is. But the reason they can target YouTubers so easily is because of how YouTube is set up. It is so much easier for them to legally strike down a YouTube channel for piracy than it is to go after individual sites, like if Susie Liu made or is making her
Copyright
own
infringement, not
Yeah.
piracy.
Oh, sorry, thank you. Copyright infringement. So it seems to be set up in YouTube's system where it's so much easier to take those things down from a company standpoint than it is to go after people on their own site. Now, when she leaves the site, it does open you up for a lawsuit versus just them trying to take your stuff down. And if you continue it, they can, I think they can still sue you if you're still uploading it onto YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And so YouTube is the reason that this is a problem. Yes, there are other sites that are doing this, but, and I mentioned this earlier, so I'm sorry if it's if you did catch this. It depends. Funimation has, like, let's just use Funimation for example. They have rights that they want to defend the most. They're going to defend, because it's a company, they're going to defend what makes them the most money. So you will see some of these, like, example, and I brought this up earlier, and I'll bring it up real quick just to sum it up, in case you missed it, is I'm in One Piece Stampede, the dub, the movie dub, and I cannot find that movie. I cannot find it on Cashapp. I cannot find it on YouTube where people are reacting to it. I cannot find it anywhere because because Funimation is very defensive about that title. They're very defensive about that film right now. They want all of the profits from that film. So if they find it on Cashapp, if they find it on somewhere else, they're striking that shit down immediately. And they have so many titles that come out every single season that it's hard for them to be able to catch all of it. So they are going to prioritize what makes them the most money. And they're going to defend those titles the most. So you may see something like Azure Lane, where it can be pirated, it can be re-uploaded and put on Cashapp, because that's not their most profitable anime right now. But you will see other things that they do strike down. And so it really does depend. Now, some people are saying, oh, well, they haven't struck it down yet. That's because these sites, these companies have other things going on. But if it's reported to them, they will take it down. And they will, start focusing on YouTube and everything. There's nothing to stop them from doing that. And with all of this attention on Susie Liu right now, to the point where A-list celebrities are calling Funimation about this issue. If you think they're not going to pay attention, they are. And if you think they're not going to go, well, since she was doing it, let me double check that other people aren't doing it. It's really just a matter of time. And so that's why I'm trying to save these channels that are like this. I know some people think I've got a beef with a reaction channel. I don't give a fuck. It's a thing where I know for a fact that if she keeps attracting all this attention, YouTube overcracks down on everything. Look at what happened, what was it, 2 years ago? Where now you can't curse in the first 15 seconds, the first minute of the video. And then you can't say certain words, and you can't say that they've overcracked down on a lot of this stuff. If you think they won't overcrack down, and now you're losing the PewDiePie Yu-Gi-Oh! Now you're losing AMVs. Now you're losing all this stuff. They will overcrack down if there's a big lawsuit involved. So I'm just trying to draw attention to changing up the content on YouTube. That's why I'm not covering, oh, let's go after all the piracy, all the other, Kiss anime and everything like that. That's not my battle. But I'm also just trying to look out for other content creators. It's not me having a beef with reaction channels. It's actually me going, I think you guys genuinely love anime. People genuinely love you. But there's a good chance in the next 4 months your channel's just deleted and you lose everything.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm trying to bring attention to.
Yeah, and these companies only have a finite amount of resources to be able to devote to this. So naturally, of course, they're going to stick to protecting their most profitable base first, and then they will slowly work out forward from there. Also, I was going to comment. Tipster actually
I was just catching up on
commented
that.
what I was going to say is that a lot of these piracy sites and everything they run off systems and they run in areas that specifically ignore DMCA, which means that you have to involve federal entities and government entities to be able to intervene, to be able to deal with those piracy sites. And that's actually where Susie Liu herself has set up her website, is on a system that ignores DMCA takedowns or takedown requests. And because of that, now that she's hosting all this stuff on her website, it will be very difficult for these companies to be able to pursue, and uh, it will take police, FBI, and things of that nature. I guess Scotland or wherever hosted, it'll involve multiple countries to try and get stuff like this resolved. And at that point, with her website, it might not be worth the expenditure of time and money and resources to be able to get her website taken care of.
Yeah, there is a chance that she could get away with it on her website. There genuinely is. I don't know if it'll be on YouTube though. Real continues. I hold a channel made from AMVs. Would you say I'm at risk of having major issues? I think AMVs, to me, in my opinion, count as transformative use. However, there is, and I'll cover this in the follow-up Monday video. There's nothing that stops the companies from saying, hey, even though this may count as fair use, I say no, and now you have to go to court to defend it. How many people are going to go to court to defend their AMVs? And how many of them even make the money from AMVs or from a bridge series or from anything? Maybe a couple of them from a bridge series if it's really popular, but most of them aren't going to have the money to go to court to defend their channels. So they'll just lose the channels, and that's the problem here. Is real? If you'll, I don't know if that's you on Discord. No, it's not. I just realized it won't give me the link. They said it's on Kiss Anime, so I'd like to see, and I can report it. If YouTube overcracks down on this, if this is something that people don't fix immediately, and the companies find out about this,
Screwed up my camera.
oh, I did, sorry. And companies crack down about this, then yeah, they'll overcrack down, and anything will go down. My anime reel will go down. Your AMVs could go down. Like, there's so much that could go down, and so look, he just loves the rag. I love you, dude. I sent you the link on Discord. Oh, did you get it for me, Slice? Sorry, let me... Slice says... Oh, for the Blu-ray, thank you. Is this valid? You told me a second or two. It says Blu-ray has all languages. You gotta make sure that that's... Oh wait, it says English Dolby, English HD, subtitles on this. Alright, there we go. We got the link. Give me 1 second. Your camera's gonna be messed up. Where did that open up at?
That's fine. People are used to not seeing me. So.
Another thing that people have with the problem with this is also they're saying, oh, well, why aren't they going after these sites? Why would they? If somebody wanted to watch the anime, why wouldn't they go to one of these sites? I've been on Kiss Anime before because it's been a topic with voice actors and it's been brought up. Do you know how fishy those sites are? Like, constantly I'm getting things where my computer freezes up just from opening a browser. It becomes absolutely ridiculous to try and do. YouTube is a lot safer of a site. So I can understand why they would go, oh, well, I'll just watch it in a small little bubble here. Why will it not open for me? Is it the full length? Default. Am I human? Let's skip this. Look, there's a stupid thing. Choose two of the suitable couple. Cat, two cat. What are they asking? Please answer this to prove you're not a bot. Okay. Choose two suitable images for couple cat. Same this? Wrong answer. Damn it! I failed it. I'm a bot. Damn it. Okay. Cat can't move to boy sport. Can't cat. Boy sport. Boy for sport. I figured out what they were talking about. Look at all this porn. Click here to close ads. This would be interesting. Oh, I can actually finally see how it sounds then. Yeah, thank you for the link. I will send this because this, you know.
Are you pirating content live on stream?
I am. I know. I'm researching it.
That's actually something that you should definitely.
You can't
not be
see
doing
it.
on
You
stream.
can't see it.
Doesn't matter.
I have to pull it up if it's going to be a link. And if I'm reporting the link, I feel like, yeah, you can pull up something to say I'm reporting this to the officials. I feel like, yeah, that does work, actually. Thank you for the link. I will definitely send that to, because I know they're trying to protect that one very, very closely. Hey, Dane, how's it going? You have to verify for
It's
some
all
reason.
off camera, so it's fair use.
Huh?
It's all off camera, so it's fair use. That's not how that works, but
I mean, debatably, I'm doing what the other reaction channels do, where they say, okay, everybody sync it up and let's watch. But yeah, I'm reporting that for absolutely sure. And I know Funimation knows about Kiss Anime. I would assume they've tried to take down Kiss Anime before, but it is a situation where, yeah, because it is a website, it's something a little different than something so easily as YouTube, where they can strike down, where Twitter, where they can strike down. They have the sites themselves have these built in. That's why it's going to be a lot harder for, you know, them to go after Suzy Lou with her website, but it's a lot easier to go after her Patreon. It's a lot easier to go after her YouTube, because those are sites that have things built into their terms of service that say you can't do this.
well, also according to DMCA law, those sites also have methods in place for these companies to be able to easily get this content taken down, and that's required by the DMCA. That is law.
Let me catch up on chat. First player tokens, thank you for the follow. Nani, thank you for the follow. This ad is nice. What? Oh, is Dane having to watch an ad? There are 2 Kiss animes? Oh God. Yeah, I know for a fact that I believe Funimation. I know the voice actors have spoken out about Kiss Anime, because they seem to have issues with it because again, it is a website. That's why, and I'm gonna have to again keep probably addressing this until the video goes up. That yeah, it's going to be difficult for a website to get pulled down because it's going to take a lot more money than say time to just put it up.
Apologies, I was not giving good enough lawyer speak for Hogue Law here. He's clarifying for me that the DMCA takedown requests are required for the safe harbor provision, not the DMCA. He was right.
Okay.
I said that wrong. My intent was what he's saying, but I said it in a wrong format. So I apologize.
Yeah, I guess if I were to watch this anime, which I'm not gonna because it's Kiss Anime and, you know, obviously. But if I were to watch it off stream, that would put me kind of, like, let's say I took something, I don't know, like a Cashapp Records, and I was watching it on Funimation. I said, everybody go to Funimation, and we're gonna watch it in 3, 2, 1, hit go. And we all time it up, and I watch it off stream, or off video. I actually don't have a problem with that personally. I can't tell you if the companies will have a problem with that.
I don't think
it
it
seems
would.
like because you're not directly, in fact, you're actually kind of pushing people to sign up for Funimation to watch it. I would assume. I'd assume they'd be okay with that. Now, I'm not gonna do that on stream because I'm also a voice actor, and also like I care about Twitch, and if I don't know something is legal, turns out I won't do it until I know it's legal. I know that's crazy to talk about.
That's actually not a bad way to go about things, you know.
I do really like the better safe than sorry idea here. Officer, I was just casing the joint to report security issues. I wonder if anybody's ever said that. In case porn pops up.
Actually, believe it or not, yes.
People have used that as an excuse?
Mm-hmm.
I love people. I love people. Also, you use ad block. Wait, does ad block actually work? Because my ad block has never worked. I tried to use I tried to use ad block when somebody said it was a thing back before I was a content creator.
I told you use uBlock.
Yeah, see, you always tell me too because I've been showing my screen to you before, and I was like, hold on, I gotta click through all these ads. Hold on, I gotta watch all these ads. And you're like, stop watching the ads. I'm like, oh. But
Well,
whatever I have does not work.
whenever on YouTube, I always say, God, we got to get you YouTube
Yeah,
Premium.
you do say
but-
YouTube Premium on YouTube, so that's good. So that Blu-ray would have your dub in it, correct? I think so. I'm gonna double check because it was supposed to release soon, but I don't know when it released. Yeah, one slipstream and your channel is gone on Twitch. Yeah, they brought up a good point. Luckily, it was just the corner of the screen. But yeah, if porn had popped up, that could get me in trouble on Twitch. What's your take on fan subs? I don't mind them. I don't mind them, but I can't tell you that the company won't mind them. To me, it's a really gray area where you could say, well, because I watched the fan sub, I know what the story is, and it's just the translations that is different, and then it could be taking away from the content itself because now nobody's going to watch the content.
Fan subs are not fair use.
You don't think so?
Really?
No, they're not. First off, because yes, they're offering a translation that might not otherwise be available, but you have to remember the original form of the content. And one aspect that you have to consider is: are you taking the heart of the material?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you're taking the whole thing, and it's still the story. You're just providing basically a translation for it. That's not actually transformative, that's not actually enough to fall under fair use. It's still taking the entirety of the content. You're still keeping the heart of that content, and therefore it's still going to be copyright infringement.
Question. So then, what about fan dubs?
Same thing.
Yeah.
I think that, and that's another thing, is some of this is just what the company's allowing to slide. They're gonna pick whatever they think, if.
Yeah, you have to understand that just because something's not fair use doesn't mean it's automatically going to, disappear into the ether.
Yeah,
Whatever.
the company
has
not
to know
always
about it. They have to
everything.
and what these companies do is they're going to make a valuation on it. Will this benefit us in some way? If so, then we'll probably just leave it alone. That's what happens that's why Twitch even exists as a game streaming platform, because video game streaming is not fair use. But it exists at the sufferance of the game developers and the game publishers because it's easy and free publicity for them, so they allow it to remain. They don't take action on that stuff because they benefit from it. And so these companies will do a valuation based on that to see, will this benefit us? Will it not? What's that? Is it enough hassle to worry about? And all of that, and they'll decide whether or not they choose to take action on it.
And sorry, I'm catching up on chat, so if I miss stuff, I am scrolled up. I promise I'm not trying to ignore you. I also just don't want to miss stuff. At Rachel Messer, at Sid Alpha. So far, the anime companies have been issuing DMCA takedowns through Google for their search results for Suzy Lou's website. But because her host does not comply with DMCA takedowns, they're unable to DMCA her actual website. Any thoughts on that one?
Sorry, say that again. I was reading some other stuff in chat.
Yeah, you're good. I'm trying to catch up too. So far, the anime companies have been issuing DMCA takedowns through Google from their search results for Suzy Lou's website. But because her web host does not comply with DMCA takedowns, they've been unable to DMCA her actual website.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, that's why YouTube is going to get targeted, is it is such an easy. It's got it built in.
That's an easy avenue. It's one of those things where, like I said before, because the system that hosts her website refuses to honor DMCA takedown requests. At that point, there's not much these companies can do short of involving the authorities, and the authorities would have to be pulled in to take care of it.
I really like Hoag's Law here. I'm probably still screwing that up. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. If only my clients had the policy of I won't do it if it's illegal. Everybody's giving me ad block suggestions. I'm catching up to that part. I fucking love it. I feel like people would rather watch anime for free, with the only cost being a couple of porn ads, instead of having to pay for a subscription. I think that's just how some fans of anime think, instead of not realizing. Okay, so this is something I want to cover, because it's a good point. There are a lot of people that there's this idea, and there's even, I kind of understand as well, some people that don't agree with what some of the companies are doing. Some companies have made stances on things, and I'm not going to cover those stances. I will consistently keep myself out of them. I don't know enough of any of that to have an opinion, and if I don't know enough about it, and I can't easily research it, and it's not a thing I'm willing to debate, so like I just don't want to involve myself in some of that. That's basically what it is. It's a situation that I'm not dealing with, and it doesn't need to involve me. This is something that does directly affect my field. It's something that I know a lot of, but just like I'm not going to talk about most of the YouTube stuff, it's because I don't know that very well. But yeah, there are some people that, because of some of the sites and some of the companies that have made statements, they go, I don't want to support you anymore. And that's fine. There's some people that go, I don't want to be part of Funimation, so I'll go watch the Crunchyroll subs. I don't want to be part of Crunchyroll, I'll go watch Funimation, I'll go do this. That's completely in their right. But you got to also remember that not all, as much as you may hate a company, it doesn't always boil down to just affecting that company. I think some people think, well, I don't like, I'm going to use a company. What can we make up a company name? What'll it be?
Acme Inc.
Acme Inc. I don't like Acme Inc. Could you have picked an easier name to say? I don't like ink, okay? I just don't like it. It gets everywhere, it stains my clothes. I don't like ink. I'm a pencil person, and I'll die on this hill. Pencils for life. Hashtag pencils in the chat if you're also like, get the fuck out of here with ink. So let's say you don't like ink, and ink will dub over anime, or ink will sub over anime. You have to understand that by going to these websites, you're not helping that anime. So even if you really love the story, there are shows that have not made second seasons, and it's because it's all primarily profit. If they make enough profit from it, this is why you have One Piece that has hundreds upon hundreds of episodes, and then some shows that have better storylines, in my opinion, that only got one season. It's because it didn't make enough money, and then they'll milk it till they find it fine. There was this company, I won't say which company until I get permission to say it, that bought the rights to an anime, and it almost bankrupted the company. And this was 3 years ago. They bought an anime, and the anime they thought was going to be really, really popular, and then it tanked, and nobody wanted to watch it. And they'd spent all this money bidding for this anime, and now they were like, crap, we can't buy other anime. We can't sub it, we can't dub it. They were making plans to fire a lot of people, or tell them, not necessarily fire, they were making plans to say, hey, we'll call you when we call you, kind of thing. And then it just happened that the anime later on, near like the last 2 episodes, did get really popular, and they did make the money back from it, and it saved the company. And I would like to talk about that, but I don't know if I have rights to talk about who it was and what that was in that situation, so I'll just say, ink. But people have this idea that these companies will make fist, sometimes I'm sure there's a branch that makes a lot of money, but other times not.
Unfollowed him? No, I didn't.
Oh, they make a lot of money. They'll keep making it, but you're not supporting anyone when you do that. You're not supporting and somebody did make a good point in my comments of like some people, the animators for this show, they may get paid below minimum wage, and they're working every day from morning and then well into the overtime, and after spending their whole day slaving away at this animation, and then they lose a job because of it, or then they and I think they should be paid better. Absolutely, animating's hard. But
Plus, if you're watching this stuff basically for free because you want to say, well, screw this company, screw Acme Inc., you're not just screwing that company. You're not screwing over some faceless entity. You're actually decreasing the profit potential for them to continue employing all of these people, and also for them to continue creating the content that you're actually watching.
And so it's a thing where like I have all these people that say, oh, why didn't this ever get a second season? I wanted this to get a second season so bad. And it's because, there's a good chance that the company wasn't searching for it to defend it, and then it didn't make enough money. And even if like there's so much to it, but it's not just a company. It's not just, there's somebody there that made that manga, that cared about that story so much. And they go, oh, nobody else cared about it. It just got one season and it's done. And same with manga. They'll stop making manga. There was this one manga I was following I loved. I can't remember the name of it, but it was just the most unique story I'd found. I'll have to go to my manga shelf to remember it. And I loved it, and it had two books. And then it never happened again because it didn't make enough money. And so it's just kind of how the way it goes. Yeah, that's English. Yeah, so it's not just that, but I understand that some people are like, I'd rather just sit through some porn ads than pay a subscription for these animes. But yeah, it is absolutely hurting some of not just the companies, but then yeah, the shows, the people that made the shows, the voice actors, everything. It is an art form. It's everybody coming together, and so just because somebody's not actively seeking it out and striking it down all the time doesn't make what you're doing any less harmful to those people.
Also doesn't make it any less or any more compliant with the law. You know, you have to bear in mind that it's still copyright infringement is still copyright infringement, even if 1,000 other people are doing it.
And the thing is, like Kiss Anime and stuff, they wouldn't exist if people didn't go to the site. So you also, as a consumer, have to be responsible and go, am I willing to support somebody? You know, and I get like going over there and saying, I'm going to flag this and I'm going to send it to this person. Like, you know, I did watch some of Susie Lou's videos. I did have to watch some of this stuff. I did have to support that. But the reason I did that was so that I could go take it down. Not Susie Lou's stuff, but like the link. So I could double check that that's what it is and then go make sure or try and help get it taken down. So that with, you know, the YouTube stuff, sometimes I have to watch it to be able to tell people, hey, this is what she's doing, this is how this is going, and this is how it's hurting people. Sometimes me watching one thing will stop 70 other people. Oh my God, that scared the hell out of me.
When it comes to piracy, there are a lot of type of people. 1. People that do not wanna pay for a service even if they have money. 2. People that don't have the money. 3. There are lots of places in the world that don't have access to shows and movies.
Yeah, yeah. There's lots to it, but you as a consumer, you get to. Same with like views, where people go, "Oh, I hate Jake Paul. I hate Logan Paul." There was somebody today that was arguing, and they were like, "I hate this content," and then they were like, "I've watched every single one of his videos," and I went, "So you've supported every single one of his videos?" I don't understand how you know, if you really hated somebody, just never watch their videos. And eventually they'll stop making videos. Like same with Kiss Anime. If you really hate the piracy thing, don't watch it over there. And there, you
don't
know,
engage in it. Yeah.
You make a good point that I think it was No Black Thunder that some people don't want to support the thing, and they do have the money for it. Other people don't have the money for it, and other people cannot get access to it in their. Paladin, thank you for the sub. Some people can also not get access to it in their country. I'm not saying I have all the answers. That was never the point of my video. My point of the video was that YouTube specifically, which is why I focus on YouTube, it puts the content creators at risk. So somebody earlier today was saying, oh, why can't you just leave this channel alone or leave these people alone? They're not bothering you. I'm like, yeah, they're not bothering me, but with all this attention over here, they're going to get their channel deleted with no warning. So I'm trying to give a warning.
And then these people that you were attempting to defend are going to be gone. And what the hell are you going to do then?
It's not like I got a bee in my bonnet and I was like, let me go take down all these channels, because as I pointed out, somebody said, oh, well, this is Naruto. Can you get Naruto? You don't have access to Japan. And I said, it's the dub, which means it means it's a U.S. law and a U.S. company. And yeah, I actually could, through a chain of text messages, immediately tell the company to take down this video, and she would be gone in a week. But that's not fair to her, because she probably didn't know what she was doing was against the rules, because she saw other people doing it. So I'm trying to tell her, hey, heads up, with all this attention on this, you may want to change things because you've built up a fan base and you're going to lose them all. And this guy thought I was coming after his girl. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not. I want her to be around just as much as you do.
Yeah, because that's also something they're not comprehending. This isn't some company over in Japan. for these dubs and everything, like because Japan has their animes, they release them and stuff, and either they will release them. I think there are some Japanese companies that actually release their anime overseas, but a lot of the time they will actually have companies like Funimation, like Crunchyroll, like so many others, that those companies will go and purchase a license for Western distribution, and that way they own a license for the copyright to be able to do that. And because they are releasing that content under their license, and Susie Liu comes along and does her React stuff, she is infringing their licensed copyright for that content. And so she's not dealing with some who knows what company in Japan. She's dealing with a company over here.
Right, and that's the thing is, that's why these companies over here are getting involved, especially because she's watching dubs. That falls. That's their property. That's their property. That's how they're able to sell it. They're not. Funimation's not selling this and then giving part of the money back to Japan that I know of. They buy it outright. The rights to do that. Abby girl, thank you for the follow. Yes, it's a situation where because YouTube has these things in place, that's why I'm focusing on the YouTube side of things. That's why I'm trying to tell them, hey, like, please change your content, because otherwise you're gonna be gone. You're just, and that's how sometimes this happens with YouTube. It's just suddenly a channel's struck, a channel's gone. And that's not fair to everybody who was thinking, well, they were doing it. I didn't look into it, but they were doing it. So it's kind of like with Twitch. If right now, tomorrow, all the games on Twitch, all of them, let's just throw all of them in there, okay? Just to make this example easy to follow. All of them said, I don't want anybody streaming my game. Twitch kind of has to abide by that, from my understanding. And so now, if I come on and I didn't look up this, maybe they sent an email and I didn't check my email, and I come in and I start playing Minecraft, and my channel gets deleted. That's not, I don't want to say that's not fair to me, because I should have looked into it, yes. But it would have been nice if a whole bunch of people would have made something on Twitter about it. If everybody would have talked about it, then I would have had more of a chance to find out about
45.
it.
Okay, good.
Everybody. And so that's all I'm trying to do. I don't care if you're a reaction channel. I just don't want you struck with all this attention over here. All right, so catching up, because I feel like I'm way above the chat right now. Catching up. Homemade sub is a transformation, so got it. It's straight up market substitution. Says the lawyer in chat, so thank you. Right, and some streaming is now formally licensed. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that is actually a thing to where you can obtain licenses from the game developers and game publishers for streaming content, and that's actually how a lot of streaming is basically. There's a lot of different things there that I
from Patreon today after reporting 2 pages for charging for full uncut episodes as reactions, and they said that unfortunately they can't do anything unless the legal owners send it the MCA takedown. But I did report to Funimation.
Okay, so sorry, we got a donation from Kokuburo, which I feel like I also didn't get to welcome you, so welcome, and thank you for the donation. They said that they received a reply back from Patreon today.
So close, guys.
For charging full uncut episodes of reactions. And they said that they cannot do anything unless the copyright holders reach out to them saying it, but they did report it to Funimation, which, thank you.
That's quite true,
yeah.
Actually.
And so that also brings some warrant to where people were saying Susie Liu isn't catching attention from the companies, but her Patreon's gone. So
I'm pretty sure when I checked yesterday, it was still showing under review.
Oh no, it's gone now. Yeah,
oh,
it's gone, and she sent out a letter to everybody. So that would mean by Patreon's description, a copyright holder had to prove it and had to report it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why it's like Zira. Thank you for the follow. This is why I'm saying you guys don't understand. Some of these companies are taking notice, and they're gonna know where she started at, and they're gonna trace it back, and then all your channels are gonna be gone. That's not fair to you if you were just following what she did.
Yeah, Patreon, what they're doing there is they're basically they will choose not to take action if you're not the owner of the copyright because they want to make money too. And so they're not going to. They're typically they won't do much about that unless it's in clear violation of their own rules, or if you're a copyright owner wanting to issue a takedown notice.
Your boy Tipster says there are ways to do fan sub that comply with fair use. Example, providing a downloadable fan sub file to be used in media players with the original hard copies of the unsubbed anime. Those are legal, but a downloadable pirated video with fan sub embedded is illegal. Yeah, there's so much like gray area with some of this that it people are wanting me to cover absolutely everything, and I'm like, guys, I'm not here to write a novel.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm here to protect
that sort of thing. It's
YouTubers.
like that's well outside of you know, because you have to remember I'm a YouTuber, so I've studied up quite a bit on the DMCA, safe harbor, fair use, and all of that to be familiar of it to protect myself, right? And then I'm seeing a lot of other channels like Susie Lou and others that don't have this kind of knowledge and don't have this level of experience. Obviously, I am not a lawyer and I'm not as well versed in this stuff as a lawyer, but you know, apparently better than you know, I have more
Any
familiarity
info is better
with it than your average parent.
than no info, I would assume.
Yeah.
An actual
But something
lawyer,
like that, I have no knowledge on at all. No, sorry.
our lawyer in the chat says, I feel like I should just give a shout out to. By the way, their YouTube channel is really, really good. I did tweet it, so if you want to go to !social in the chat, it'll take you to my Twitter, and you can go watch his video. It's hella good. They say it's also why if a streamer turns on a publisher, they can strike down the whole channel. Something to keep in mind. No Black Thunder says they can still DMCA and sue Susie Lou directly since her personality is public. Law continues right, so that's to what we were saying, or to Thunder. Let me catch up on chat real quick so I can at least be somewhat, because I'm like losing everything, and then we'll come back to it. What about the battle days where there was no legal way for you to watch/buy anime without fan subs? There was no way for English speakers to consume anime, and wasn't that back in like the 80s? Asking for a friend. I feel like if it was that long ago, they'd probably not care at this point.
Well, I mean, the internet only really truly came into being as we know it in the late 90s, mid 2000s, late 90s.
As we know it.
Youngin.
Are you on your fucking MySpace over there?
Well, let me fire up.
I was well aware that the likelihood was slim, but better put a statement out there. I don't approve of it.
God.
Okay.
Right. Susie Lou's website may not be able to be DMCA'd, but they sure will be able to find Susie Lou easily and serve her. Yeah, absolutely. And especially, this is also one person. I feel like Cassanime probably has a lot of things in place to defend them, and it's such a massive site that there's got to be multiple people running it versus one or two people doing it that are fully open with who they are, where they live. They even, I think in her videos, and I'm not telling people to dox, but in her videos, and this is not doxing, she does have a little section where you can email, or you can mail her stuff. I'm assuming it's for like a PO box or something. So you can write to her. If you don't think one of the companies is going to write to her, they will. They'll probably email first. But I believe if it's out of print, it's fair game. And there's also like, what is it? I'm forgetting it. Where it's like older than 50 years.
I believe it's 70.
Public domain.
Yeah, public domain. There's a lot of stuff to that I've spent maybe 5 minutes scanning, so I really can't speak to.
Got to hit her with a cease and desist, as she has declared herself the company owner. So you're talking about ethics, not legality. Illegally, it remains copyrighted, but that will remain, and just taking it will remain illegal. She's in the UK, Scotland, I believe. That's politics. I'm not dealing with politics, so get me banned. Pencils for life. Oh my god, I forgot I started the hashtag pencils for down. Mountain Life, thank you. We got some OG Mountain Lives in here. Are you Mountain Life?
Fucking Mountain Life.
Mountain Life.
Oh my god.
Mountain Life.
That actually the Mountain Life gave me a headache.
I'm surprised that didn't get clipped. Also, you can let the companies know Susie has been admitting what she does on Twitter and keeps purging your Twitter of proof. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have been reporting it as funny. When it comes to piracy, there's a lot of type. Oh yeah, that was No Black Thunder thing that I read. So I'm way behind on chat. I hear you. Hold up, baby. Hold up, baby.
Well, chat's been pretty active tonight. Which way to go,
Thank
chat?
you, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna be somebody that's like a drama channel that's like gonna take clips from this, and it's gonna be me with no makeup in my pajamas with my dog's rag in the background.
I'm sure.
I'm like, hi, welcome, professionalism. Sing it.
Professionalism.
Professional voice actor. All right, catch you back up. I think seeing Rachel Messer discuss how protective these anime companies are is very telling. There's a lot of restrictions on what Rachel Messer says she can talk about.
I see.
If anyone believes Suzuru's claims that she has permission to do these reactions. I've talked.
So what about?
From what I understand, she does not have permission. I have not heard from a single person, and if she did have permission, Funimation would seem to would shout her out. They would announce that they were doing this. And so they would also start with other people too. They wouldn't just pick one YouTuber. And even so, they don't do that. They've got. I don't want to read my. I have a director message that sums it up really well. But I don't want to.
Funimation has its own YouTube channel that it can put its own content on if it so chooses. Which, I'm not surprised that they don't put their videos up there because it's so easy to download YouTube videos. They have their own streaming service and all that other stuff.
Yeah, Crunchyroll will sometimes put episode 1 up for like teaser. So what makes anyone believe Suzu is clear that she has permission. Rachel Messer actually works with these companies. Suzu doesn't. Let's be real here. That is a fair point. And the thing is, like, this is where when I was talking to Stejo, I can't tell if they got really confused or if they're just straight up lying. And again, it's a situation where they were saying Funimation gave me this right, and I
They're straight up.
Funimation email, and I said no, this you don't get
That's
the right
not
for
what
this.
that's saying.
That's not what that's saying at all. And also, I need to see what you said to them originally, and they don't have they don't have that info, and that's part of that is on Funimation's site that it doesn't send it back. Like if you went to my site and you sent me an email, there's a way I can do it to where it sends you a copy of the email you have just sent, or it will just send you a copy saying we've received your email and here's your ticket number, or anything like that. So there's Funimation doesn't have it to where it sends it back that I know of. Okay, I've clearly
See if I can enable that on my website to email people a copy of what they sent back.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna have issues. Okay, I've clearly been going to the wrong places on the internet because Rachel Messer and Sudapa are doing a wonderful job explaining market functions, the economics, and corporate law guy. And he very much approves. I got approval! Somebody noticed? And this is all like, I know, you guys sing it? You guys sing it? I know that, I'm not a lawyer or anything. This is just stuff that I've been told from people, from companies, from what I can do. And the thing is, like, there's so much restriction to what we can and can't say as actors in the industry.
So close, guys.
Projects. And if we as the actors...
I don't have any Nook tickets right now.
...create this work, if we can't react to the anime, why would somebody random... And some of these actors, somebody could say, oh, well, it's her following that she's allowed... she's got so many subscribers.
Some of these actors have
way more
of a following than her.
Yeah, so why wouldn't they start with... Because I feel like, somebody brought up The Walking Dead earlier. I actually know a Walking Dead actor. And I was at a convention with him where he had to do the reacting to the episode while it was airing at the convention. Now, this wasn't rebroadcast. I don't know Walking Dead's terms of service there. I don't know any of that. And maybe because he was an actor, the company gave permission. But it was a thing where he was allowed to react to it. But like, if it doesn't, you would start with the bigger people, and they didn't just want to see people screen The Walking Dead. They could watch that at home. They wanted to see the actors' feedback on it, the actors' reactions to it. So why, if you're going to start dealing out contracts to influencers, wouldn't you start with the influencers that have a bigger following and directly were engaged with the project? It doesn't make sense to pick random YouTubers and say, you can do it, you can't. There's no logic behind that. And that's where I'm not understanding where people think that it's okay. Maybe they're just trusting, and that's sweet. But that's not how this works. Oh, Waffles gifted the sub. Thank you for the gifted sub to Paladin. I'm so behind. Oh my god, catching up. Correct me if I'm wrong, voice actors don't get royalties. No, we don't. There's some contracts that'll allow you it, but most of them don't. If you buy an anime or watching the anime, they've already been paid, and not enough, I will state, in my opinion, that they're not going to get paid anymore or any less unless they have union jobs, at which point they'll make a buttload of money to begin with. Yeah, that's fair. We get paid a flat rate per hour. We don't get royalties on sales. We don't get royalties on airs, anything. If you see an actor talk about talk about a project or anything, they're doing that out of their love for the project or their love for their performance or even maybe the love for the company, depending on what it is, or to just show in good faith. Like I will sometimes talk, I've worked with some game companies that have been absolutely incredible companies to work with. And I will shout them from the rooftops of how amazing they treated their actors, how amazing they treat their fans, how amazing they are as devs. Because they're just good people, and I want to reward that. But then there are some companies that I have actually never taken credit of what I was in. I've not promoted the game. I've not said anything about the game. It's not even on my website. The developer was such a terrible person to work with that I didn't want to give them. I will give them the performance, and they can say I'm in the credits at the end of the game, but I'm not going to give them the advertising because there's absolutely no reason for me to, other than, if I wanted to tell people I was in the game, I could, but at this point, I feel like I've got enough game credits. I don't want to put it up there. Rachel's afraid of the money dings. I am. That's still my scare alert from some of the horror games. I'm almost caught up. I didn't need to see either Paul Boy's videos to know I wouldn't like it.
That's fair.
Yeah. Was the person talking about me? Sorry, Tipster. I'm so far behind. Which was this comment about? God, I love the 666 in here. I actually know of an old case of piracy dealing with software that previously was only available in Japan. Oh, shit. Like I said, ignored. You're welcome, though. What did I do? Did I ignore you, Waffles? I'm sorry. I'm catching up in chat, I swear. I love you, Waffles. Don't leave me.
Very close, guys.
I'm cringe sometimes. You know this?
Sometimes?
I'm cringe all the time. You know this? Alright, catching up. Samurai 8 was also the creator of Naruto. His Naruto manga series did exceptionally well. But his new series is barely doing anywhere close to how amazing Naruto did. With that, they're planning to cancel the manga, which is pretty sad. It's an amazing manga, but like you said, if it doesn't be financial, it's so much. And the thing is, like, you'll get creators.
Hi, how are you? Don't get scared.
God
This
damn it,
is just
that's
a
what it
donation
says!
with a pointless message.
Fucking no Black Thunder. They just donated. It genuinely freaked me out. I almost threw this part of the pen that I broke. And the first message is don't get scared. Oh. Thank you for your donation, but fuck you.
I approve of this wholeheartedly.
Oh my god, you fucking somehow more of a troll than I am. I just got to where Abby Girl follows too. Yeah, it's so much of this. You will find, just like with YouTube creators, like any creator, and this is where burnout also comes into effect too. Any creator wants to, you don't make something. Some people do make something. Like, let's say you just like to paint, or you just like to knit, and you make a scarf and you're never gonna wear it. You paint a scarf and you're never gonna wear it. You knit a painting and you're never gonna wear it. I did that intentionally. I love the reaction though. So there are some times where you do cathartic things and it doesn't even matter. You just did it because you enjoyed doing it. But a lot of these things like manga, they take a lot of time to draw, a lot of effort. YouTube videos. Now, this is also subjective to the content creator. I could get on here and make a YouTube video of what's something that wouldn't call somebody out. I'm trying to think of an example, but like there's so many. The examples that popped in my head are like creators, and I don't want it to seem like I'm calling out a creator. Okay, let's say there's nothing to stop me from.
Let's use me as an example.
There's nothing to say that I can't record a video on my YouTube channel of me just staring at the camera eating popcorn. And eventually I'll say, hi, I'm Poppy. It'll be a weird fucking video. But there's nothing to stop.
I'm Poppy the popcorn eater.
There's nothing that stops me from doing that. Is that interesting content? Not to me, but maybe somebody will really like it. I don't know. There's lots of people in there. But I could genuinely say that video takes less effort. Hi, how are you? Fuck! Did someone get scared from a donation thing? Why didn't it play the sound? Oh my god, my heart. Guys, I had a lot of G Fuel today. Fuck. My whole system's like on edge. Thank you for the donation. Also, fuck you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Rachel Messer, the only streamer where you can troll her by giving her money.
Right? I'm the only person that's like, please don't donate. It scares me. So, oh my god, where was I at? I'm fucking lost. Oh yeah, but that would take a lot less energy to make than say if I made an animation. You know, both could be a 2-minute long video, but 2 minutes of me eating popcorn is significantly less effort than 2 minutes of me animating. And so with that, when you put in a lot of effort with something, you do want to be rewarded for it. This is where we get burnout from. You want it to affect other people. When people put up YouTube videos, they want people to see them, and they normally want them to like it. There are streamers and people out there that they're like, I'm going to do this for the streamers. It's going to piss so many people off. There are those. You know, you see that even in this situation. But a lot of the time, people do seek positive feedback. And so they'll watch it. And if they put a video up and it gets 2 views, and all their videos that they put up gets 2 views, they'll probably, whoa! Oh my god, fuck!
Thank you for the discussion.
That was
Having
bait!
been in and out of entertainment business myself, some of the NDAs I've signed into were absolutely crazy. Especially the speculative stuff that is still in the background. And don't be scared.
Don't be scared! That was so bait! Did you see what happened? Look, see, it does that? I don't know what this is now. Fuck! At least that one didn't scare me as much. I'm sorry. Tell him! It didn't play Ooga Booga. Another stream donation. Lay off the G-Fuel. See, this fucking... How did they do that, though? Katie Hunter, thank you for the bits. Oh my god, my hands. Okay. My face is like fucking beet red. Oh my god. Thank you guys for the donation. I'm gonna cry. I'm scared of anything that pops up on stream now because I couldn't tell if that was like an after effect of like, oh, it did this. Or if they can, you know, somebody wants it to affect somebody, and if they go, oh, nobody's watching it, I'll just stop. Now, there are some people that put it up either way, but most of the time they'll just stop. And so with something like that, that's normally a distributor. And so the publisher will say, yeah, we're not going to print this. Yeah, we're not making the money back from the printing process and the manufacturing process. So we're not going to fund it anymore. And it's so expensive and so hard for somebody to self-fund a publishing thing. But yeah, stories do get ruined, and it's sad. You have a bonnet, like a floral bonnet? All right, let me scroll back down.
You realize you're never going to catch up with chat.
I'm catching. Oh my god. Oh my god, it keeps loading. Oh my god.
You are so far behind.
I know. I thought it was doing so good. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. If you scroll up a little bit, is it salted popcorn? Going back up to the most recent one. Susie watches anime on Crunchyroll. Think of the ads that are actually sponsored by Crunchyroll. However, Susie uses Google AdSense. She doesn't understand that if she visits a site like Crunchyroll, it will display ads of the other sites with Google AdSense. It doesn't mean the site you're directly with. Yeah, I saw where she tried to say that if Funimation didn't approve of her stuff, then why was it on her? And that's another thing where you have to go, is this somebody genuinely not understanding how websites work? Or is this somebody lying? And
My personal thought is she's being disingenuous there.
I can't. I'm
That's
not
being
smart
generous.
to make that judgment. To me personally, I'm. You know, you have your own opinion. You
I
say whatever
can.
you want.
I'm
Yeah.
a judgmental person.
I don't want to tell her. You know. Oh, you know, you're lying, and she could genuinely not know. And same with like the Funimation thing. Like
Which
maybe Stejo genuinely thought he was sponsored by Funimation,
No.
but when you
No.
it's a stretch.
I was gonna
No.
say I have a hard time believing that anyone could be that stupid, but then
Right?
we saw what happened on Twitter earlier today, so
And
that argument's kind of blown out of the water there.
and some of the YouTube comments where I was trying to defend a content creator, and he said, "You're trying to take her down." I'm like, "You didn't even watch the video, dude. I'm not. I swear to God, I'm trying to protect her."
Yeah. So I was gonna say no one's that stupid, but yeah, no, evidence points towards the fact that yes, they can be that stupid.
How do you feel about your videos hitting 22K? Dude, like, you don't understand. I have screenshots of when it hit 20K and when it hit 10K because I told Sid when I was editing this, because it took me 2 days to edit, and I was exhausted, I was tired, and I said, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I'm carrying so much, like, people are going to watch the video, and it's just going to, like, sit at 200 views. And, you know, that's still 200 people that saw it. That's fucking incredible. But like, I'm acting like, oh, somebody, you know, people are gonna care. Why didn't Vaporeon pop up for a second?
And I was just sitting over here at the end. No, this video is gonna do well.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many videos about the Suzy Lou topic that, and also it was the anime topic. Like, who gives? You know, I care, but I'm
Well,
a
that's
fucking
because
weeb.
because the overall arc of the story surrounding Suzy Lou is her reactions to the anime and stuff, and you are a person that works in the anime industry, and so you have a unique perspective that nobody else
Yeah.
has been able to provide yet. That's why.
I feel like it depends. There are some people that are genuinely upset by the anime stuff, and there are some people that are genuinely upset by the hypocrisy, by the lies, by the behavior that she's displaying.
Yeah, but it all
And I think it's
stemmed
all, I
from
think it all
that,
adds on. And the problem is, just because she got maybe she got the attention from her behavior on Twitter, but that doesn't get rid of the fact that now these companies are paying attention, and now these other
It
channels
is.
just because it wasn't the anime reactions that overall triggered it, doesn't mean that the outcome's not going to be the same. Scrolling back up. Yeah, but I thought the video was going to sit at 200, and I remember when it went out, I got 300 views in the first hour, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, but it's going to die down. And I told Sid that my highest viewed video on the channel was 4.7K, and I said, do you think, like, I could get 4K? Like, that'd be so cool if I could get 4K. And it's, like, I kind of, I know 20,000 isn't a lot for a lot of people. You know, there's some people that can make that in an hour. There's some people that can make that in 2 minutes. But my channel's so small, and I feel so irrelevant that it's.
Yeah, when your video gets more than 10 times when your video gets 10 times the amount of views as you had subscribers the day before, it's a big deal, no matter
That's
what
true.
size channel you are.
Yeah, and so like I've felt bad because I try to keep my screen time very limited because just.
Hi, how are you?
So happy for you that your video blew up. It's a great video with some fresh insight on the issue. Congrats.
I threw my thing and I lost it. Okay, I found it. I like the copper comes in now. Falloon, thank you for the follow. The donation is also now like a dog summoner somehow. Thank you so much, Tipster. And part of that, like, it really was because you linked it in your video, and I really appreciate it. And also, like, I know people are very mad. They think that because I'm talking to Tipster that I'm taking sides. Like, no, I have also spoken with Stejo. And right now, as far as both of the sides are concerned, I have been incredibly impressed with how calm, collected, and understanding and open to communication that Tipster has been. the thing with this is, with public opinion, people want to be able to talk to you. Tipster has been very easy to be reached out to converse with, to talk to. I can't, Stejo has not responded since I said, hey, would you like to come in a video and I'll bring in a director and we can talk about the anime side of things. And maybe we can point out how you guys can change things to be, law-abiding. How we can...
Damn it, Tipster, stop using donation. It scares Rachel. P.
Did you see that fucking message? That was well done. That was so troll. I love it. Thank you. My face is like purple now. Oh my god. Hi, Lulu. Did they summon you too? See?
So I feel like we need to have a Rachel reacts to donations.
Look at him scratch! Oh my god, you scratched so big! You guys get this toy. You get a toy? You got a toy? That's a good toy. That one didn't scare me as much. It depends on if I'm paying attention. I'm sorry, I'm well, summon the doggos and sing us their song. Lily, would you like to... Oh, she went into the ground. Papa, would you like to talk to me? Would you like to talk to me? Hello? Oh, can I see you? Would you like to say hello? You're lazy. You're lazy. I love you. Oh. Hi. Hi, cutie. I love you so much. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. What?
God damn it.
Wait, you're stuck. There you go. Okay. I've gotten so distracted. Yeah, Tipster has been willing to communicate when it comes to public opinion. The ability to talk to people really...
I have to refresh it, stupid.
Thing the other day.
Gordon Hayward shows his opponents no mercy.
Oh god, thanks Gordon Hayward. Who's messaging me now? Oh, Gamer Boy, okay. Anybody else still here? I'll be there soon, okay. And no, you have 2 switches and 2 accounts. Can we still do with switches? What are you talking about? But yes, if you were, you could use switches instead of crowns, but there'd be less bells.
To my thing, they could talk to if all these other channels are willing to be respectful. They can talk to the other channels. It doesn't have to be a me thing. I would just be willing to talk to them with somebody from Funimation and explain if they have permission or not situation and what's okay in their eyes and what's not. I'd be willing to get somebody or to reach out and see if I know I could get a director on, but I don't know if I could get a representative on. Especially with what's going on in the world right now, but I could at least, message some people and see if they're willing to send anybody. And I could for sure get a director on. And the director would, he's worked in, the person I've been talking to, worked in anime for 25 years. They know what's up. They know some of this a lot more than me, who's only worked in it for 5. So yeah, I know some people get mad at me for shouting out Tipster and for talking to Tipster, but I talked to Tipster all yesterday. He was very respectful. He was, every time I brought something up, I was talking to him and I said, okay, Stejo said this. Can you explain this? He was very calm, collected, respectful, and quite honestly, a very interesting, a really great person to talk to. It's the door sound. That's my problem. Fuck you! You son of a fucking bitch!
What's kind of a bummer. I've always tried to be fair in my reporting and invited them to share their side with me, but she has shut me and anyone down every time.
Yeah, and I think
She'd
that's
rather position us as the enemy that is bullying her than actually communicate.
why are you smiling? Oh, thank you for the gifted sub. It was from Anonymous. But thank you. I was like, you said you doing shit over
No,
there, Tipster.
that
Okay.
actually wasn't me.
Thank you so much for the gifted sub. And yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lot of this is she could get so much heat off of her if she'd be willing to understand that public opinion in this situation does matter. You know, that's why she's going to get so much attention. That's why she's going to get so many. Stalin, thank you for the follow. And so I do think that, from my understanding, Tipster has conducted himself rather well. Is he devoid of fault? No, but he even admits that. And that's a big thing. Susie Lou will not admit fault. Tipster has. People are more willing to forgive if you admit fault and change your behavior. Tipster admitted fault and changed his behavior. That's respectable. We all make mistakes. We all cross lines at some point. We've all made a joke to somebody that they thought I mean, even you, Sid. Like, I've made jokes with you. You and I, we both know our lines. We know what we can actually joke about with each other and what we can't, what we get sensitive over. And so it's a thing where that's just part of people. And so, like, I've been very
And
impressed with it.
especially in instance, a long going issue where Tipster had one of his videos struck falsely, and it's kind of difficult to maintain a cool head towards someone instead of calling down rain and hellfire like I typically do when someone tries that with me.
That's why when I offered them to come in, I don't want to say the YouTuber's name because like it's completely up to him. But he did offer to come in, and I know you offered to come in, Sid. And I was like, Sid will get to.
No, I offered that specifically because I'm an uninvolved party and I'm not stupid.
So is the other person too. Like they haven't said anything that I know of. They've given their opinion on things, but they haven't like made a video or anything like that. I have 9K subs on YouTube, and my last video are sub 200 views. But that's been a 4-year gap since I've done anything. Wow, you've been on YouTube for 4 years. How you doing? I'm doing good. How you doing? Or you're saying that's Tipster. Tipster, how you doing? His name is Black, and I can't. Loki. Oh, hold on. Do you get that all the time on here where somebody's like, what is that name? I think the thing that keeps me yeah, and the thing is like doubling down on that. I was thinking, I get also like, I've had people come at me before. Okay, like when you stand up for something, be it right or wrong, you get feedback. Hi, Diana. Oh, are you two playing? They like the studio because they can climb the walls in the studio. The thing is, like, if you make a stance, right or wrong, literally once.
Hashtag Sigward Cannon Viva La Revolution.
Viva la Revolution! Thank you. Thank you. Sidward, are you making Sidward Cannon yet?
No.
I have a recorder. You gave me permission. Oh, we got a hype train going now.
I
I'm still
forgot
trying to
about
figure this
that.
out. Yeah.
Gotta run. This stream has been fun and insightful. Thank you again for your comments and open approach to the situation.
Thank you
It is
so much.
sincerely appreciated.
Thank you. And thank you for being willing to talk to me. I'm trying to be a non-biased party here. But thank you so much for being willing to talk to me. And definitely, like, that's the thing, is a non-biased party that I didn't know Tipster before this. I didn't know Suzy Lou or Sujo. I haven't spoken to Suzy Lou, but I haven't spoken to Sujo. From the interactions between them, Tipster has proven to be a very good guy. So thank you so much for tuning in, Tipster. I really appreciate it. And I'm not saying Stejo's bad. That's not my place to judge. But for court of public opinion, they got to change a lot of shit. And they don't seem to be willing to. Like, I get it. Once I post on Twitter that all dogs are good dogs, and somebody legitimately said, no, fuck you, genuinely. Like, they retweeted it, they were telling me off, and they were saying all these things because I guess they don't like dogs. I didn't think it was a controversial tweet, but apparently it was. And so it's no matter what you say on the internet, there's going to be somebody that's got an issue with it. so it's we got 3 minutes. We're 50%. I'm figuring out this hype train thing. I'm getting it. But you can't double down on just being like, well, everybody hates us. Guess what? Charizard, nice name. Thank you for the follow. Come here, I'll pet you. I don't think it's a good PR move to double down on the oh fucking flipping everybody off the camera and saying I embrace the bitch that I am, and it doesn't make sense. People just wanted to talk, and like I just want to have a conversation with them and explain. Did you get this confused? And if so, like, here's how you could change your stuff. I genuinely want to help her. Because, like I said in my video, she does make people happy. People do stan her. I didn't get to see what that one was. Thank you for the pic. So it's a thing where, like, people want to see her accept the faults that she has made, because some of these she has made. And if it's a misconception, they would just like the chance to talk to her. And it doesn't seem willing to do that. And that's
No,
damn
that- it seems to me like she seems to be under the impression that she only has two options: either double, triple, quadruple down, and just be, act in a rather what I would personally would call a deplorable manner, or apologize and surrender to the court of public opinion and all that, which you don't actually have to do either one of those. All you have to do is just, analyze and assess the situation and see. A lot of people are saying that I'm doing this and it's not in the right. I am not doing this in the correct manner. Maybe I should look at this and see if I'm actually doing this in the correct manner or not, and then be, state, yeah, we're good or we're not, instead of, everything that they've done.
And the thing is, like, if you have the company that could strike you down, if you have people that understand how that company works being willing to talk to you, why wouldn't you take that opportunity?
Absolutely.
Like, if I were constantly getting flagged for gameplay videos, I would want it, and the company said, hey, we're willing to tell you why, or not even the company, maybe somebody that's another, really close to the company that understands how the company works says, hey, I know why you're getting flagged, I can fix it for you. I'd be like, yes, please. I would love to be able to continue doing what I'm doing, just where I'm not breaking the rules here. Siberian says probably because they don't really care. They block anyone that even brings up the issues or speaks out about them. Yeah, and that's another thing. Is like, you can't block everyone. Like, you can block the people that are going to come on and give you death threats and say, die this guy or whatever. Like, you can block those people. But if it's somebody like where Tipster seemed to be very calm and collected and said, I just want to talk, and we can talk and be respectful. And also, like, honestly, this is my personal opinion, because the video was very unbiased. In my personal opinion, flagging John Swan's video for the forehead comment is just dumb, okay? Like, you cannot be a content creator on any platform and not have gotten made fun of for something at some point, especially with the size of the channel. Sid, your channel is a third of her size, and you probably get comments calling you names and everything.
Oh yeah, I still get on average. Well, beans the past couple of months, my video content production has gone way down. But typically, when I'm normally doing 4 to 6 videos a week, I would still traditionally receive 1 to 2 death threats a week on my goal.
And the thing is, like, you can't. I found a video. Somebody mentioned this. So what if somebody was making fun of your voice acting? I found a video this week of somebody literally making clips of my voice acting that they didn't like. And I just watched part of it, and I kind of laughed, and I went on with my day. I didn't go, let me flag this video for misrepresentation. Let me attack this person and get it taken down, because they have, I was open to it. I was like, all right, my voice acting isn't always great. That's just a fucking fact. I cringe at some of my own stuff most of the time, and so when you go after something that minute, it does come across like you're just trying to silence what John Swan's video actually is, than that you're actually offended by a comment,
Well, plus whether it's true or not, it can very easily be taken as that being used as an excuse to be able to remove the critique.
Yeah, and like, was it fair according to YouTube? Yes. be honest with you. I'm not. I don't think I'm a great person. I don't have that much self-esteem about myself. Um, but I'll probably just go, oh, okay. And I may even honestly watch it because if somebody's being that critical, you know, there could just be somebody being an ass. That's totally fine. But I can learn from it too. I'm not saying you have to learn from every critical thing. You know, the forehead comment, I don't know what she could learn and do from that. But also, if she was really upset with it, why wouldn't she just get bangs? Like, I'm genuinely, I used to be really scared about my forehead. That's when I was like 16, I got bangs because I thought my forehead was big. I've actually now measured my forehead because of this whole thing. I don't know how this came up, but I wanted to know. I'm sorry, Sid, do you know how long your forehead is?
I have no idea.
That's what I fucking thought. Now I have that knowledge. Okay? Now I know.
Now I feel like I'm going to be measuring my forehead after the stream, as
See?
will probably a fair amount to other people.
Like I literally last night was like, okay, so and I actually went and I got a tape measure and I went to a mirror and I was like, okay, and it was like a fucking construction one too, so it's like one of those metal ones and I'm trying to bend it and get it right. So I got a
That's
rough
all I have.
estimation. Yeah, I was like, okay, it's either 2 inches or 2.5. Like, okay, so if your thumb, this part is a inch, right? So if you're one there, Axel, thank you for the follow. 2.25. But yeah, when I was a teenager, I used to be very worried about my forehead, and so I just got bangs. And am I worried about my forehead? No, because sometimes I actually really like to do this like fake mohawk with the bangs, and I want to figure out how to French braid so I can do the fake mohawk, and then like braid it. There you go. But yeah, like, and also you don't tell the internet what you're actually self-conscious about, because then you know just do what the internet do. Now, if you guys do make fun of my forehead, just tag me because I got some fucking memes I can make out of that. I'll run with that. I'm so excited. People are gonna genuinely do it now. I'm gonna have to buy a tape measure. Okay. But yeah, I think a lot of it is how she's presented the internet. Block everybody. Yeah, there's people that warrant blocks. Like I blocked the guy that was telling me I don't get to count as a woman. But that was after I had the whole conversation.
That was fun.
That was,
I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. That was
yeah,
it's been a while since
I put it on your Discord. Yeah, and she's got to be able to. That's the thing is, I don't know. To me, you never last long as a content creator on the internet if you're not willing to take some kind of criticism. And it's also you understand as an artist to really put stuff out there. You understand when stuff is, you know, somebody is telling me, hey, your video sucks. I know, okay, well, but somebody did point out stuff that
cool.
Yeah, I was like, somebody did point out stuff that even I noticed, and it was a thing where, because the process, it was such a big fucking file. It really was. There were so many goddamn cuts that I knew I was going to have issues. I knew for a fact that there's a section in there where I repeat, like, I think there's 2 sections where I repeat words twice. There's sometimes where the audio jumps up and then jumps back down.
Yeah.
Because when I was trying to move the file, I accidentally pulled the audio up, and it was such a big file that like watching it over and over and over again would take literal 12 hours just to proof watch. And so I was trying to do proof watches and then change something, and I actually even uploaded a video that was private, and I sent to Sid to make sure, like, hey, does this seem... I was worried I came across as I was defending Susie in the video, and so I said, do I look like I'm defending Susie because I'm just trying to be non-biased? And so then when I was making some final tweaks, I accidentally jumped up some of the audio, and then it wasn't until, like, it took 2.5 hours to process, 3 hours to upload, and so that's 5.5 hours right there, and it was just so much that I knew there were going to be issues. And somebody did comment, they said, the audio jumps here and it blasts my eardrums. I'm like, that's fair criticism. You are absolutely right, friend.
It did,
and I will
too.
Yeah, there's twice where I watched it, I'm like, god damn it, that's cringe. Why didn't I catch that? How, out of all the times I'm moving clips, I had to accidentally pull that one up. I think also the quarterings video is significantly louder than everything else. I was trying to balance everything. The quarterings section is so much louder. But I'm also really new to YouTube, and I'm trying to fix things. But it's fair critique.
I can tell you how to go about that a little better in the future.
Please do. Please do. I need all the help. I've been trying to get the god out of me. I even posted and edited are really weird words, but I think they're correct. I even posted that under her Twitter. I told her apologizing would be beneficial to her, and all I got was blocked. Yeah, so you can't. If somebody's trying and that's the thing with a lot of the people that are Suzy Lou critiques, they don't want to see Suzy Lou fail. They want to see Suzy Lou admit fault and just become a better person.
Stop doing the crap she's been doing to harm other channels, and then stop doing what she's been doing to violate copyright. It's not that difficult of a thing to do. It's actually extremely simple.
Yeah, they're just wanting them to change up what they're doing to where it's law abiding, and also maybe stop bullying people. And I talked with I don't know. I'm being very careful with things, but they don't think they've bullied anybody. And I don't look into the bullying stuff. I haven't looked into the name calling stuff. I haven't looked into any of that. So I don't know for sure. It would just be what they said, and then I think I would double check with Tipster and see what he said. Enough with the vegan jokes, Sid. I love vegan jokes though. Didn't Steve also claim he was a lawyer? He did, yeah.
Yes, he did. He did, and he's not.
If I sent you a YouTube video that explains CJ's law degree, would you watch it? Absolutely. Discord's the best way to do things. Yeah, I run a zoo here. I see all kinds of animals. How many animals do you have?
That was a brave acceptance for sure.
What, that I'd watch it? Why wouldn't I watch it?
God knows what sort of disgusting thing would be contained inside that video.
It's not bad.
And that's another thing. G Fuel, thanks you for your sponsorship. G Fuel, I know you're not listening, but I will shout. I already shout you guys from the praise. I always shout you guys from the praise. That's sentence, okay? G Fuel, with your sponsorship, I English so much good that Good English will always sponsor you for face, and much wow will come of good sales. G Fuel sponsor, please do wow.
Somebody better fucking clip that. I'll send it to G Fuel myself.
I just get offline. Everybody's tweeting at G Fuel that clip. Oh my god. How many animals do you have? I have 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 1 bird. Women's sides are right and wrong. It's okay to be biased. Yeah. And the thing is, like with mine, I'm just talking about anime. So I was trying to be like, hey, she's not the only one that's doing this. From my understanding, she's the only one selling it on her own site, but she's not even the only one with her own Patreon. And I feel very bad because in my edit of one of the girls' videos that I was criticizing, I was trying to make a joke about how people think Suzy Lou is the only one with a Patreon, and I zoom in on the Patreon and I played this comedic music. But looking back, I think it may have looked like I was making fun of her.
I didn't think it.
Creator, and I wasn't trying to, and so I'm actually going to give her an apology in the video because, like, I genuinely wasn't trying to make fun of her. I was trying to make fun of people being like, oh, Suzy Lou's the only one that does this Patreon, and you're like, no, you're like, really quickly I found she's not the only one doing this. That doesn't make it right. And the other girl, this is like the other girl's a great example of what you actually do in this.
Where the fuck are you, Streamlabs?
I didn't know it was against the law. I have taken down some of these videos. I've changed my Patreon. I'm going to do some changes to my content to make them law-abiding. I think that's all really... Because we all have foreheads, and we feel foreheads. Oh, God. I gotta see it. Okay, hold up. I don't want to lose everything. Don't really lose. Because I think... Oh, God. I'm so far behind again. Okay, turn back up. The IRS wants to talk to me. I just noticed that the four allowed terms on the screen: asshole, asshole, fucking porn. Rachel, you got some explaining to do. I have allowed terms? Oh, yeah. I forgot that Streamlabs will say, like, do you want to allow this? So say, yeah, I'll allow it. And apparently I've allowed asshole, fucking, and porn. I stand by my decisions.
Yeah, I
Okay?
think it's fine. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
He did not obtusely go check out the size of her forehead. He mentioned the size of her forehead based on the items on screen. Then questioned how her actions are so small brain. Ooh. Ooh. I'd actually be proud of that birdie.
A bit
I'd be
mean
like, damn.
spirited, but not bad.
Yeah. But I feel like you and I roast each other about the same way. Like the other
Pretty
day,
much,
I made
yeah.
something and I made a joke, and you were like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah." It's a bit spicy, but
Oh, that's where we're going there with that. All right. Okay. It's gonna be one of them days.
yeah.
I'm wrapping up soon.
In which she gives advice not to feel embarrassed about one's forehead. Oh, I'm the Twitch stream. I was like, she gave one. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, we all got fucking foreheads. They don't care. It keeps
Speak
the
for
hair.
yourself.
Sid, we can see you.
Don't assume my forehead.
That's true. That could be your chin extended up. Your chin's so fucking large that it's
It is.
so goddamn masculine that it's scrolled it up. Scrolled it? Yeah, it's scrolled it up all the way to the top of your head. Impressive. I slowly receding hairline. Nowhere in hell I'm going to measure my forehead. Understandable.
Was that it? Maybe that. Fucking dick!
Sorry, I get distracted so quick. I'm so sorry. Alright. Can I put a tic-tac-toe on your forehead? Yes. Okay, hold up. Let me get... Alright, yes. Is this enough? Wait, let me rest. Okay. Ready? Everybody take serious notes now. Alright, here we go. Free charge. Free forehead over here, okay?
Pull the hair back a little bit. Give him a clear shot on the forehead.
Let me just... Okay. Is that better? Look, that actually makes it... There we go. That makes it look even bigger. Okay. There we go. Perfect.
Okay, ready?
There you go.
Here we go. Free charge, okay? For you guys, anything. Don't even worry about it. Now it's all caught up in you. Look, ooh! Can I make it fluff? Can I be? This is what I was expecting, and I'm sure once I announce it on stream, people will do this. I was expecting you look like Krusty the Clown. And now I really look like Krusty the Clown.
I thought you were saying I looked like Krusty the
No,
Clown.
I thought with my green
How?
hair. Because you know when you and I did the joke videos and everyone was calling me a blue-haired entitled bitch and shit, not understanding how the jokes work? I thought everybody was kind of going to jump on the same bandwagon of the hair, and I was like, I look like Krusty the Clown. Ooh, can I do that? I need some gel. Ooh. I've gotten so distracted. I'm sure the chat was like, let's talk about the anime rights and
Hi,
everything.
chat.
Over here,
Now
like,
we're here with Krusty the Clown.
Hey, kids! I look like a fucking Angelica doll instead.
This has been my entire day.
Yeah.
So you guys
This is what I normally am like. You guys ever wonder? Rachel, is that the guy that was an astronaut? Probably. I swear the state of the VA.
Who was I in Astro?
Oh no, I don't think. No, I thought they were talking about the guy that was calling me.
The Twitter guy.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not woman enough, and he's Canadian. You know, it's
I was
your
gonna say,
opinion, but.
I was an ass to someone. Please go into detail. How was it?
No, not you. Not you.
I swear the state of the VA are all forehead jokes at me, okay? This is not a thing against Susie Lou. Feel free to make fun of my forehead, okay? Got you. I've got so many ideas, all right? I've aimed for the day I can be a meme, and I'm jealous that Susie Lou has the potential to be a meme, and she's not endorsing it to the best of her abilities. It's wasted meme potential. That hurts my soul. Oh, look at Ollie.
See,
I feel like
Susie Lou,
Rachel's starting
it
to
could
get a
be
little
worse.
tired. That's why
You
she's
could have
getting
Sid
distracted.
Alpha's massive forehead. It's not so bad. Lol.
Sid, how about our foreheads are being compared?
I can't.
How many thumbs is your forehead?
Oh no. Here, give him a full screen, and I'll give
Okay.
him a focus if
Okay,
they
I
want
was
to
like,
draw
you
a
don't
tic tac
have to
toe
if you
on
don't
mine
want
too.
to. Okay,
No,
cool.
no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't care.
Let me do this real quick.
Oh my god.
You're a little blurry.
That's because my upload is garbage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's your thing, but it's okay. They'll play checkers and wait. Does that work? With the pixels? I don't know. You guys got it? 3. I'm taking it away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, gone. The drama channels tomorrow are gonna be like Rachel Messer makes fun of Susie Lou's forehead, and it's really just us making fun of our own goddamn forehead. Yeah, I saw the state of the online competition. I remember after the end of the 4th round, I said, nobody bully anybody. This is ridiculous. And a couple people came out being like, nobody's bullying. What are you talking about? It's fine. And now the winners of the competition have left because of death threats. Like, Jesus Christ, guys.
Wow.
Be nice. And also, like, that. How do you think that's going to work out well for you in a voice acting career? I don't remember that shit. After I mentioned something, I got told I could. I just realized like my whole zoo loves when I giggle, and so they're like all in her. Sir War.
Okay, I gotta save and quit, guys.
Where are your other 84 brethren?
Well, actually, let me check one thing real quickly.
Send them. We must duel.
Is anybody still here? Still at 6 people watching. Okay, let me check my bank.
I still want Susie. I want Susie Lou to redeem herself a bit. I don't know how much she's going to be able to with doubling down on everything. And I don't have anything against her personally, but it's also like, girl, you're handling this all sorts of fucking wrong. Girl, you want to. Susie Lou, if you would like to come talk to me, I will happily try and help you fix your PR here. Because there's a lot going wrong that is really just making your case a lot fucking harder.
It really is.
Alright, gonna end the stream. I gotta focus on other things. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Well,
Bye.